heading to the ballpark. Another big crowd expected here at the stadium. Why? Because there's a game, and it's a pretty good game as well. Second game of a four-game set between those two teams. As tonight, My Nine presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the defending world champion New York Yankees against the Detroit Tigers in the second game of a four-game set from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball. Along with Paul O'Neill and John Flaherty, I'm Michael Kay. Well, yesterday the Yankees struggled offensively again, and they lost the first game of the series by a 3-1 score. Month of August has not been good for the Yankees. It's supposed to be hot in August. The Yankees are 6-9 in August. Look at their average, just hitting .243 and scoring under 4 runs a game. They belted 16 home runs in 15 games, but they pitch very well. All of that adds up to a tie for first place in the American League East with the Tampa Bay Rays. Now, to make matters worse, John, injuries have also factored in. Last night, another big one.
Well, you're right. Alex Rodriguez, the big injury in last night's ball game. You take a look at him coming out of the box. Obviously, he does not feel good, and we found out after the ball game he had a little problem with his calf. Very frustrating for Kevin Long, the hitting instructor, who got Alex Rodriguez locked in Kansas City. It looks like they're going to miss him for a few days, and the Yankees are going to have to find a way to pick up the slack offensively.
And you can see the difference. They had to plug in Pena in Rodriguez's cleanup spot. Tonight's pitching matchup brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts. America runs on Dunkin'. What a pitching matchup it is. Justin Verlander for the Tigers, 13-7, 3.72. CC Sabathia for the Yankees, 15-5, 3.14, and that 15-win total, Paul, that puts him at the top of the American League.
Well, it also puts him in the running for the Cy Young Award, and this is his time of year. I mean, he is an August-September pitcher, and the reason why is because he's a workhorse. He's at his best. He doesn't get tired. His numbers at home are unbelievable this year. 18 consecutive decisions where he hasn't lost a game. CC Sabathia's importance right now to the Yankee rotation is huge because of the injury of Andy Pettitte and the struggling Javi Vasquez.
So he will be out there tonight, and he's going to need some offense. Curtis Granderson looks as if he's straightened things out. He had 3 hits last night. We'll break it down with John Flaherty next on segment 2 on My Nine. But Curtis Granderson has not. In his last 5 games, hitting .368, 7 hits and 19 at-bats, 3 of the hits extra base hits, 2 ribbies, and 2 runs scored. Now, John Flaherty, we've spoken about what they've done with him, and I guess it paid off yesterday with 3 hits.
Yeah, 3 hits yesterday, and the big one for me right here, going the other way. In the beginning of the year, we saw Curtis Granderson hooking a lot of pitches to right field. Going the other way is a nice stroke, but right now you see a swing that is simple, a swing that is short, and Curtis Granderson right now has a lot more time to recognize the baseball and take care of it. You look for a big 5 or 6 weeks out of him to finish up the year.
Now, you wonder how much offense is going to play into tonight's game. It is a big-time pitching matchup. Verlander against CC Sabathia. Ace against ace lineups. First pitch, baseball next on My Nine. brought to you in part by your local Lexus dealer. The KFC 14-piece fan feast. When your kid's game time leaves no time to cook, now at KFC. And by Acela Express, where you can plug in and work or sit back and relax. Book now at Amtrak.com. Beautiful day here in New York City. You see the Bronx County Courthouse. You see that over the right center field bleachers, but now it's kind of behind the first base grandstand with the new ballpark and the crowd filing into the new Yankee Stadium. And expecting a crowd of over 46,000. Joe Girardi has the lineup, so you should know what's it about. And the Tigers starting lineup is brought to you by your tri-state area Volkswagen dealers. Visit tristatebw.com. Austin Jackson in center field. He's going to lead off, batting second and playing second is Ramon Santiago. Johnny Damon drops at third. He's a DH. Cleaning up and playing first base. A home run last night, Miguel Cabrera. Johnny Peralta, the shortstop, bats fifth. Batting sixth and playing left field, Ryan Rayburn. Brandon Inge at third base will bat seventh. Batting eighth and playing right field, the slumping Brennan Bosch. And Gerald Laird is going to catch and bat ninth.
The Detroit Tigers going to face ace for the New York Yankees, CC Sabathia. Take a look at his numbers on the year. It'll be his 26th start, 15 and 5, 3.14. All of the numbers are outstanding for CC Sabathia. Let's take a look at our Yankees pitcher scouting report brought to you by Continental Airlines. Work hard and fly right. It is time to be an ace if you're CC Sabathia. The Yankees struggling offensively. Go out there and shut the Tigers down. And a little payback, 6 earned runs in 6 innings on May 13th. The Tigers beat him up. And don't let Miguel Cabrera beat you tonight.
Let's do it as Austin Jackson swings at the first pitch and sends it deep to left field. See ya. One pitch, a home run, and the Tigers are on the board.
Flash, did you say Cabrera or John?
Wow.
Only the second home run of the year for Austin Jackson. And an inauspicious beginning for CeCe.
So, I mean, does that really bother you as a pitcher? Okay, strike one, boom, home run, 1-0. Now you've got a whole game to pitch. But it's kind of a shock. I mean, Austin Jackson, this is his second home run of the year.
Well, we talked about Austin Jackson last night. He backs up the ball. He hits a lot of balls to right field. Just ambushed CC Sabathia.
Pitch outside to Ramon Santiago. That was Austin Jackson's 134th hit of the year. He leads all big league rookies in that category. The 1-0. Fouled away. Santiago, 2 hits in his last 10 at-bats, carrying a .275 average into the game. Yankees have lost 2 in a row, and a good guy to have on the mound to try to stop that is CC. Outside. Sabathia loves pitching here at Yankee Stadium. 18 regular season starts at Yankee Stadium, 13-0 in those last 18. Longest streak for a Yankee pitcher since Ron Guidry won 16 in a row. That one's tagged into right center field. Granderson makes the play on the run to take an extra base hit away from Santiago.
You said it, Michael. I mean, Granderson gets a great break here early in the game. Knows you can usually tell the center fielders that are playing their home ballpark. They don't even look at the wall. You've got the steps down. Good running catch out in right center field.
Tell you what, CC Sabathia usually go out there for the first inning. You kind of see what kind of stuff you have, what kind of night it's going to be. A couple of swings, a home run, and a deep fly ball to right center.
Pitch to Damon as a strike. Johnny said his first inning ovation from the Yankee Stadium crowd yesterday meant the world to him. And he said, I was trying to hit the ball out of the ballpark, give somebody a souvenir. He said it didn't work out, but at least I had a 10-pitch at bat. He said the only bad thing about it, he said, I'm soaking in all these cheers and I want to point to the Yankee dugout. He said, and Cervelli is screaming at Vasquez, throw the ball. He said, so I didn't know if he was serious, if he was mad. He goes, so I was kind of had my attention diverted. There's a strike.
Catchers don't like home standing O's at the plate, right?
Johnny took a lot of time last night to soak it in, didn't he? He wanted a few more minutes.
Yes, he did. That one is laced into left center field. Granderson on the run, dives and makes the play. Oh, what a play by Granderson for the second out.
Well, he got tested the hitter before to see if he can go to his left. Let's see if he can go to his right now. Another great jump. This one he has to leave his feet. Much tougher play as an outfielder when you have to dive and reach across your body. See a right-hander go toward left center. Much tougher play. Good play.
Here's Miguel Cabrera.
Miggy.
That'll be easier.
See, he's playing him over in left center. Got a good jump on his good scouting report by fading him the other way. CC's thinking, you know, I've got 3 batters. I've got 3 bullets. Stay loose, boys.
Pitch outside.
I'll tell you what, CeCe's last outing against Kansas City, he was so good. 8 2/3 dominant. Was throwing 98, 99 in that ball game. Doesn't look like he has that good fastball early on tonight.
Count 3-0.
We saw Javi Vasquez last night struggle. Didn't really have a whole lot. First inning has been a lot of work already for CC Sabathia.
Great numbers against Sabathia. 7 for 11. 2 of the 7 home runs. I don't think that was an intentional walk, but it was close. So Cabrera with a 2-out base on balls. So a rough first inning. First pitch is hit into the seats, and that's just the second home run that Sabathia has allowed over his last 14 starts. Then Santiago clubs one to right center. Damon to left center. Granderson runs him down, and Cabrera walks. Here's Johnny Peralta. And a strike. CC 15-5, 3.14. And that's the earliest that he's ever reached 15 wins. The earliest he's ever reached 16 wins was last year, September 2nd. So going for that number. Shattered bat. And a nice play by Gene Lamont. Tonight's closed captioning is brought to you by your local Lexus dealer.
Fastball into Peralta. Check out Gene Lamont. He got a little flat-footed. Nice little split finger pickup.
Throw the split finger up in the stands. Gene Lamont came over with Jim Leland from Pittsburgh.
Hot shot right back to Sabathia, and that'll do it. And CC just drops the ball and says, I'm going to get off this mound. 1 run, but it could have been more if not for Curtis Granderson. Nice play to Rob Santiago, and a better play to Rob Damon. Tigers won. Yankees coming to bat. Off home run. Let's take a look at their starting lineup that will try to make it up. Is brought to you by Nissan. It's the end of the model year, and Nissan is laying it all on the line. Nissan's bottom line sales event going on now. The left fielder, Brett Gardner, leads off. The captain, the shortstop, Derek Jeter, bats second. Batting third and playing first base, Mark Teixeira. A-Rod's out with the bad calf, so the second baseman, Robinson Cano, will clean up. Nick Swisher's in right field. He'll bat fifth. Batting sixth and catching, Jorge Posada. Marcus Timms, the DH, will hit seventh. The number 8 hitter, center fielder, Curtis Granderson. And Ramiro Pena in for A-Rod at third. He'll bat ninth.
The Yankee lineup, which has been struggling lately, is going to face an ace in Justin Verlander. His number 1 type stuff. We'll see some of his numbers. 13 and 7 at 3.72. 147 strikeouts, 157 in the third innings. So we'll take a look at a Tigers pitcher scouting report, which is brought to you by the 2010 Honda Clearance. It's the only thing from Honda that won't last. You have to get him early. His ERA in the first inning, 7.13, gets better after that. Typical ace, 12 of the last 16 outings, 7 innings. And he is a beast against the American League East, 3-1 with a 2.27 against 5 American League East clubs. He steps up against a good division.
Gardner works the count 1-1. And the pitch inside, 2-1.
You know, Flash, when you go through little times of hitting and not well, you kind of change things a little bit just to switch it up a little bit. I was watching Brett Gardner walking to the plate, brand new shoes on tonight. You can tell the first time he's ever worn them out there. Just try to change your luck a little bit. See what happened?
Hey, he changed his luck.
It must be the shoes.
That's what Spike Lee used to say to Michael Jordan. It's got to be the shoes.
Brett getting a chance to lead off tonight. Derek Jeter moving down to the 2-hole. A lot of things changing with Alex Rodriguez out of the lineup. That is just a beautiful inside out. Nice line drive the other way. Maybe the spark offensively the Yankees need.
Look at that.
The white laces, huh?
Oh, I used to. Didn't you switch batting gloves? You'd switch anything if you weren't going well, right? I should remember that, right?
You know my story my whole career. Up there with soft spikes, turfs.
Anything, huh? Just to get that feeling?
Cervelli last night usually doesn't wear batting gloves. He took them up there for one at bat. It didn't work out. He came up the next time with no batting gloves.
Pitch inside to Jeter. Now, Jeter ended yesterday's game with a double play. And in his career, and he started with the Yankees as their everyday shortstop in '96. He's only ended 2 games with a double play where the tying run was in scoring position. So that was only the second time. Almost picked off Gardner. Verlander is a very quick move for a righty.
Uh-oh. Those long spikes. It's good traction going back there, but you're right, Michael. Good quick move. And, you know, if you're a power pitcher and you're kind of slow to the plate, very important that you keep those runners close. Give your catcher some kind of opportunity to throw them out.
Inside. This is how last night's game ended, and incredibly well-turned double play by the Tigers.
When you look at the pitch, it's probably a borderline strike. Could have been a ball or a strike. If you're Derek Jeter, you can't take it. You have to try to put it in play. A nice turn by Guillen, the second baseman last night, who's not in there tonight. Did a great job turning that double play.
It shows you how strange stats are, though, guys. Valverde pitched an inning and a third. He walked 4, gave up a hit, allowed a run, and still got a save. That wasn't exactly a sterling performance.
That was funny, Mike. I was just looking at the game notes, and I'm thinking, you know, how in the world Jim Leyland could stay with that guy in that position. But he's had 23 consecutive save opportunities, and he's come through. So as a manager, you know, you just believe that somehow he's going to get out of this. And, you know, he's in a position now that he's teaching players and trying to figure out how he can win down the road.
Runner was going on 3-1, but Jeter walks anyway. So Gardner just moved to second on the walk, and the Yankees are set up first and second, nobody out.
It's amazing, Paul. You face a guy like Verlander, and I mentioned the ERA in the first inning, over 7. I mean, you got to get him early before he gets in that rhythm. His stuff is so good.
I was just going to ask you if as a catcher, if you think that's mental. Because there were, some Hall of Fame type pitchers. Tom Glavine comes to mind. At the first inning, his ERA was horrible. It didn't even compare to the rest of the game. And if it's just you try different things, warming up, anything you can do to get him through this. And it seems to me like it almost is a given that you expect to give up runs early.
Yeah, you wonder if Laird, the catcher, might go to a different game plan. Maybe some more sliders or changeups in the first inning to slow him down a little bit. Missing with the fastball early.
They are into it. They're hanging over the wall. Getting a closer look. Actually in play. Tiger bullpen out in left center. The 1-0. Outside 2-0. Now Teixeira has not had much luck against Verlander. 1 for 14. And that's a top quality hitter. Now Gardner is going to be thinking about stealing anytime he gets on, but you have to watch against Laird. Laird, over the last 4 seasons, has thrown out 36% of all base stealers. And this year alone, he's thrown out 20 attempted base stealers. Guy can throw. Foul back.
Well, he can throw, and he's got an interesting throwing style. He actually holds the baseball with 3 fingers as opposed to the normal 2. And I talked to him about it in spring training just to find, it was one of those things you read to find out if it was true, and he said it is. He has a better feel. He's more accurate that way. I thought it would take away from his arm strength, but it doesn't.
Pitch outside. The shortstop, Peralta, was out of position. Darted in at second base, and Verlander delivered the pitch, so the whole left side of the infield open.
The shortstop there, you're in trouble if that ball's going in the hole. But that's that daylight play, and it just materialized.
3-1. High fly ball, left center. Austin Jackson drifts back. He'll make the catch. Tagging is Gardner, and he's going to go to third. A smart play by Jackson, throwing to second. He knew he didn't have a chance with Gardner, so he keeps Jeter at first.
You almost wonder why, as your cutoff man, you would cut off towards third base. That ball has to go to second base. You have no opportunity. But, as an outfielder, you know how deep you are. You know you're not going to throw him out at third base. It's a solid play.
You see Brett Gardner's going to tag up easily. I wonder, Paul, see how that throw is offline? I mean, Derek read the throw coming in second and went back right away. Would have been a very aggressive play to try to get the second on the throw offline a little bit.
So here's Cano. He gets an opportunity to bat cleanup. 3 for his last 20. And he takes a strike. He is 76% effective in getting the run in from third with less than 2 outs. He's done it 16 of 21 times.
Which is really good. And, you're facing a guy here. Most pitchers, you're very comfortable knowing, hey, I'll get this guy in from third. Verlander, he led the league last year in strikeouts, so he's very capable of getting that strikeout. Right now, he's right on the brink of it at an 0-2. Now he's had so many ways to do it. And that's a strength of a power pitcher. You can save runs by getting those big strikeouts when you need them.
That's an uncomfortable trend here for Kevin Long, the hitting instructor. You're starting to see Robinson Cano expand the strike zone a little bit more than he had the first half and into the second half. Seen him swinging a lot more pitches out of the zone lately. Good pitch there to see if he'll expand again.
All of a sudden you saw Verlander open the game at 92, 93, and then you see he needs a strikeout now. That last ball 96. So same things on his mind. Try to save this run with a strikeout. You're going to give your best stuff at this point.
When does it get your attention, Paul? 94 or 95?
There's such a huge difference from anything from 95 on. You get so many scouting reports from 93, 94. All of a sudden, a guy from 95 on, it's just a different ball game. It just happens so quick.
Right in on the hands, foul back, 96. Well, the 2 starters tonight certainly know how to strike people out. Tim Lincecum since 07 has the most strikeouts, but Sabathia and Verlander 2 and 4 in the top 5. Javier Vazquez is 5th. One, two, outside.
Verlander trying to go with that combination. Fastballs up, changeups down and away. Hasn't gotten a good feel of that changeup yet. It's a tough combination if he can throw that pitch for a strike.
That's why I hate to, I mean, if I'm managing, I hate to see that 0-2 pitch wasted, because now you're back to 2-2, and I think that Robinson Cano's in the driver's seat. Now you're 3-2. Now you're in a, you don't want to walk in. Much easier at bat now than when you're 0-2, because as a hitter, you're in that emergency mode. And that 0-2 pitch was just too far out of the zone, and it got Robbie back into the count.
All right, let's manage here. Do you send Jeter on 3-2?
I try to make something happen here. I mean, the Yankees been struggling offensively.
He goes. Pitch is high. So the bases are loaded for Nick Swisher. Well, John gave you the scouting report, and it's bearing out. You get to Verlander, you're going to get to him in the first inning, where his ERA is 7.13, the second highest in the American League, ahead of Kevin Millwood, who has a 13.30 ERA. But from the second inning on, Verlander is a 3.11. So you got to get to him now, because he does find his way. Well, now here's Nick Swisher. His right forearm is barking, and it bothers him most when he's batting from the left side. He had it earlier this year, actually batted from the right side a couple of times against righties, but not against Verlander. And pitch high.
I talked to Kevin Long before the game about Nick Swisher and about that elbow, and he said, you know what the problem will be if he gets fooled on a pitch and really extends and is off balance a little bit. He's really got to make sure he backs the baseball up.
There's that borderline pitch right there. And that changes the at-bat there. I mean, that's such a, you just kind of hold your breath as a hitter, because 2-0, you are in the driver's seat. That ball right there is high. You don't see it called very often. 1-1, big difference in being 2-0 as a hitter.
Bill Miller, the home plate umpire, the 1-1. Goes with a breaking ball inside. Swisher this year, 4 for 10 when he's up there with the bases loaded. Verlander electing to go from the full windup, the 2-1. 3-1. He doesn't have an idea where the strike zone is at this point. He's already walked Jeter and Cano, and now he's 3-1 on Swisher.
Flash, is it official yet? Last night you told me in the ninth it's official. He didn't know where the ball's going. Is it
it's
official
not official yet?
It's not official yet? No?
Not yet.
Hot shot, base hit to left field. Gardner scores. Here comes Jeter. He'll score. It's a 2-run single for Swisher. And the Yankees now lead 2-1.
Well, if you're Nick Swisher, you're in the driver's seat here in a hitter's count. Chances are you're going to get a fastball. Don't try to do too much with it and roll over. Ball kind of runs away, stays on top of it, laces it to left field. Those hits are all, if you're the catcher, those hits are all set up by getting behind in the count. See that bat stay through the baseball, don't come around it.
And I'm thinking here, Paul, maybe that right elbow barking a little bit kind of keeps you back.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to get big and try to do too much, you just stay on it, drive it the other way. In a strange way, it might help him.
That's why you play. I mean, it's so easy to, have a little ailment. Take a day off, get him tomorrow. But, then you're sitting on the bench as Nick Swisher thinking, this is my spot. I'm up in the, with bases loaded. Now you're 1 for 1 with 2 RBIs. Off to a great start.
Pitch to Posada is outside.
Makes those injuries feel a lot better, too.
Oh, happy birthday, Jorge. He's 39 today.
You've been very busy with the signs lately. You know that?
Love these people. Love them that they take the time to put my name on the sign.
Just pass them out when you walk in or something?
Takes a lot of work, a lot of magic markers and oat tag.
Now I know what you do during your radio show during the breaks, huh? A Sharpie marker and a poster board.
Hard to believe, Posada 39. Foul back. And Jorge's in a little bit of a slump as his birthday hits. He's 3 for his last 23.
Get into a slump when you miss pitches like that. A 2-0 fastball right down the middle. Good swing. Fouled it straight back. It's a pitch when you're going well and you're hot in center. Hit a line drive somewhere.
The 2-1. Breaking ball 3-1. Posada has just 2 RBIs since July 25th. So it's been a struggle for Jorge. Marcus Timms is on deck. Three and two. That's what makes this game great. You've got Sabathia against Verlander, 2 of the best pitchers in baseball. And we're not even through the first inning, and 3 runs are already on the board. And the first pitch of the game was hitting the seats. The 3-2. Off-speed pitch is popped up. Laird runs out.
I'll tell you what,
nice
this
catch.
is almost becoming a real pattern of 3-2 changeups. We saw it a lot last night. We saw that Verlander right there, 3-2 as a hitter. You're lucky you foul that ball off. I mean, you're looking dead red here, and you see just an off-speed changeup. Right there, you're trying to hope that thing blows into the stands.
Three-two. Inside, so another walk. The 3rd walk by Verlander. And the Yankees have reloaded the bases. And that's going to bring up the former Tiger, Marcus Timms. Very well liked in that Tiger dugout. Jim Leland loved him. Verlander and Timms pretty close. And Timms has had a very good year for the Yankees. Look at the numbers. 316, 4 and 16. Great on-base percentage. And now getting a rare start against a righty with the Yankees injuries with Berkman and A-Rod down. Count 1-0. Verlander is all over the place.
It just goes to show you, it doesn't matter what kind of stuff you have. It goes on counts. And, you know, you're pitching to hitters' counts, to good hitters. You know, chances are you're going to give up some runs.
Tapped right back to Verlander. He's getting the force at home. And the throw to first, 1-2-3, and he is out of the jam. So the comebacker turns into a double play, but the Yankees take the lead. 2 runs on 2 hits and 2 left. You played 1, 2-1 Yanks. special deals at your Hyundai dealer. So an interesting and eventful first inning as the Yankees come out of it with a 2-1 lead. They did make Verlander throw 35 pitches in the first inning. Another big crowd on hand on a beautiful Tuesday evening in August. And Ryan Rayburn is going to lead off.
Look up at the board. Ryan Rayburn, born in Tampa, Florida. Probably hung out at Legends Field before he got into the minor leagues.
Probably got shooed away as a kid, asking for an autograph from you.
No, waited outside. There, you start off with a nice little story and you end it with something like that. You know that?
Foul back. Last night's second inning.
That was a curveball from Javi Vasquez, and it was down, but it didn't have a whole lot of bite on it. And Rayburn just went out, stayed through it. Turned out to be the biggest hit of the ball game.
One, 1-2.
I'm interested to see CC Sabathia in this inning. He went out in that first inning, really did not have a whole lot. A lot of balls hit hard, a leadoff home run. Teammates came right back, scored him 2 runs, gave him a lead again. We'll see if he can come out with a little better stuff. The shutdown inning.
Pitch inside, 2-2. Swing and a miss. Got him on the off-speed pitch, one away.
Good changeup, and then CC Sabathia will tell you that's the big difference in him as a quality #1 pitcher. Has learned how to throw that changeup. Early in his, when I remember facing him in Cleveland, he was a 2-pitch pitcher. A fastball, overpowering fastball, and a curveball that he didn't have real good control of. And now all of a sudden, now he's got 3 pitches, and changeup being his strikeout pitch.
John, I'm wondering, as a catcher, with Sabathia having the sort of inning he had in the first inning where he didn't seem like he had anything, does that engender a conversation? Okay, this isn't working. Where do you want to go? Or do you just let him stay to himself?
No, well, that's what you have to know, the personality of the pitcher, obviously. I mean, I think CC is one of those guys who likes to talk in between innings, and I'm sure Jorge, Dave Island probably had a little conversation. You wonder if it's mechanical. Maybe they got to make an adjustment with pitch selection. Fastball's gotten better now to 94. But Paul, you talk about that changeup, and you remember back to spring training, A.J. Burnett said, I'm going to work on the changeup because I saw CC throw it last year. It was a big pitch. Phil Hughes, the same thing. Now there's only one pitcher on the staff. CC Sabathia is using the changeup. Phil Hughes hardly uses it. A.J. has struggled to master it.
I don't know that pitchers know enough about hitting to realize what's hard to hit. And a good changeup, by far, one of the tougher pitches to hit. I mean, you miss with I don't care how good your fastball. If you miss with it, good hitter's going to take care of it. You start throwing a good changeup and learn to miss with it out of the strike zone, you're not going to get hurt with it. And it makes hitting a guy much more difficult when there's speed differentials in between the pitches.
John, in your experience, is it a tough pitch to master?
Oh, it's a total feel pitch. You hardly see a pitcher who can really sell it. It's like that one there, good one.
That Inge is out.
Well, the biggest thing with a changeup, you have to throw it like a fastball and trust that it's not going to come out of your hand like a fastball. A lot of pitchers have a tough time with that. You see the grip, split 3 fingers. But you watch how he sells this and actually throws it with great arm speed, comes out of his hand like a fastball, never gets there. Brandon Inge out front.
Here's Brennan Bosch, 1 for his last 16 and hitting 125 in his last 31 games. Yesterday they had him batting 3rd in front of Miguel Cabrera. Today against the lefty, he's dropped all the way down to 8th.
You know, this is a learning experience for Bosch. I mean, he's a guy that's going to be looked at a very good player in this league in a few years. And right now, Jim Leland knows that he's taking some lumps with him. With, you know, Maggie Ordona's out of the lineup. I mean, this is an opportunity for him to get out there and play every day, go through the ups and downs of a major league season, and look back next year, he'll be a much better player for him.
Fouled away. New York Yankees baseball is broadcast in Spanish. It's available by hitting the SAP button on your television. SAP is brought to you by Toyota. There are many reasons to buy a Toyota, and now's the perfect time to get yours during Toyota's national clearance event.
Paul, you bring up a great point about Bosch. And I don't know if you remember a right fielder in Detroit, Bobby Higginson.
Yeah.
Played with Bobby his rookie year, and he had the perfect attitude about his rookie season.
And Bosch goes down the stretch.
Basically, I'm going to take my lumps, but next year is going to be my year. And it happened.
Well, the second inning much better than the first for CeCe. He retires the Tigers in order, including 2 strikeouts, and we go to the bottom of the second. 2-1 Yankees. If the season ended today, who do you think would be the American League MVP? A, Jose Bautista. B, Robinson Cano. C, Miguel Cabrera. D, Josh Hamilton. Text A, B, C, or D to 70377 or go to my9tv.com. Find out the results right after the game. It's Take on Russ, brought to you by Toyota.
I'll tell you what, you see 3 of the best hitters in the American League on that list. Robinson Cano, 2 of them in the ballpark tonight. Cabrera, Robinson Cano, and Josh Hamilton. I don't think you could lose with any of those guys in the middle of your lineup.
Hyundai scoreboard 2-1 Yankees. Granderson, very familiar with Verlander. Used to watch him from center field. And you know, Granderson wants to put on a show for his former team that decided to trade him during the offseason. Had 3 hits yesterday and also made 2 sparkling plays in the first inning today. That one is drilled deep to right field. There it goes. See ya! Into the bleachers for Curtis Granderson. And the Yankees lead 3-1.
That is going to make Kevin Long, the hitting instructor, a happy man in that dugout. He's talking about the Kansas City series where Curtis was really swinging the bat well, did not have a lot to show for it. 3 hits last night, going the other way with a base hit. He gets a fastball right down the middle here. And Paul mentioned it last night, how much quicker that swing looks. Ball jumps off his bat, home run number 12.
Here is Ramiro Pena. Shows bunt, takes a strike.
He load his hands just a little bit more than he was, and it allows him to wait a little bit more and explode. And his bat speed, if you could see the last couple of days, completely different than it was earlier in the year.
The way the knob starts there, huh, Paul? Knob starts and then the bat head finishes. Creates bat speed there. Nice extension.
Granderson's home run, just the 4th home run that Verlander has allowed over his last 11 starts. Now, if you want to feel good about this game for the Yankees, check this out. They scored 2 runs in the first inning. CC Sabathia has not received the loss in a start where the Yankees score him at least 2 runs since May 23rd. Now, the Yankees might have lost a game, but CC has not received a loss in any of his starts if they score him 2 runs or more. So now they have 3 on the board. The 1-2. Fouled away. Yankees 72-46. They come into this game tied with Tampa Bay atop the American League East. Tampa Bay leads Texas 3-0 in the top of the 2nd inning. And there is a base hit to center field.
Well, that counts, especially if you're Pena. You know you get a little spot start here and there. You hit a good curveball, you're fooled, but you stay through it. Put the barrel on the bat, on the ball. Little double hitch right there. Kind of fooled with that curveball, but stayed through it. See how CC Sabathia kind of righted the ship last inning and had a good 2nd inning where Verlander still seems to be struggling a little bit here in the 2nd inning.
Here's Gardner. He started the 1st inning with a single and a throw over it as Pena is back.
See how many hits in Gardner's new shoes up there. It's 1 for 1.
And a drag bunt. And the out is made at 2nd. You score that 1-4 as Santiago was covering. And they're going to give a sacrifice, although he was bunting for a hit.
A good idea if you're Brett Gardner. If you bunt it a little harder, maybe you get it somewhere in this area. You might have yourself a base hit, but too much down the line. Not enough on it. Verlander's going to make the play. Worst case scenario, you pick up a sacrifice bunt. Ramiro Pena now in scoring position for Derek Jeter.
You know, it makes this kind of an easy play. It looks like this because Ramon Santiago, the 2nd baseman in that position, is thinking bunt. So he's moving towards first base. You know, if nobody's on base there, much tougher play.
Jeter swings and misses at the breaking ball. Pena leads off 2nd. Fouled away.
You know, the more people I talked to around the batting cage today, that it pretty much just told me what I wanted to hear, because we weren't seeing things up here last night, Flash, with Scherzer, how good a stuff he was, and how good a stuff he had last night, and how it just doesn't correlate to his record or what he's done this year.
I heard a lot of around the cage is that the Yankees actually felt really good about themselves offensively in Kansas City.
Right.
It took one game on Sunday where that kid throws a nice ball game. Then you face Scherzer last night. He throws a good ball. All of a sudden you're going, 2 games in a row. We're struggling here. We're feeling real good about ourselves a couple of days ago. 3 runs, 4 hits, and an inning and a third. Right back on track.
inside. Two-two. Grounded foul. You know, yesterday, that was the first time that the Yankees had faced Scherzer, and that's happened 13 times this year, and the Yankees were 4-9 in those games. And again, everybody I talked to today, I talked to John Kruk, former Philly, now with ESPN, and he said the best weapon that a veteran batter has is knowledge. He said you go out without knowledge. He said if you go up there against a guy that you've never seen. And then he told the story about Tony Gwynn. He said we were in spring training and we were facing a hard-throwing left-hander who was a veteran or a young right-hander that he'd never seen. And the manager said, you're going to play one of the two games. What do you want to do? He said, I want the hard-throwing left-hander. He said, because I know him.
I know what's going on, huh? And, you know, it almost becomes a head game that you don't know. But, I mean, you can learn quick. I mean, you go up and have an at-bat, you see the ball from a pitcher, and you either see the ball well or you don't. But, I mean, last night, I don't know if that goes along with the rest of the 13 outings you were talking about, because he flat out had good stuff. Yeah. I mean, there's just no other way to explain it.
You think they feel more comfortable against a Verlander than they do against a Scherzer? Because this guy has great stuff, but they know him.
I wouldn't say comfortable is the right word. I would say you have an idea how he's going to pitch you. It's still not going to be a comfortable at bat.
Yeah, you see the way, I mean, Verlander, as good as his stuff is, I mean, he's pitching behind. He's getting in hitters' counts. And, again, I mean, when you're picking up the phone in the second inning with your ace on the mound, that's not good for the Detroit Tigers. Some of those guys might not even be out in the bullpen yet. They don't expect to get in the call in the second inning with this guy on the mound. Do a roll call out there and see how many people showed up. Are you kidding? Verlander's on the mound. I'm not warming up. It's the second inning.
It's been the same pattern. Fastballs up out of the zone. Changeups off the plate away. The Yankees showing their patience. Once they get a good pitch to hit, they lean on it, but not expanding the strike zone.
If you look at it, I mean, he hasn't found one pitch that he can really go to. He's missing with his fastball. He's tried his changeup, his curveball. All three of them plus pitches, but he hasn't found one that he has complete control of where he can throw it.
30 balls and 27 strikes. That's not Verlander, and Knapp goes out and tries to straighten him out. He was already out in the first inning. Football's back, and preseason action kicks into high gear on our sister station, Fox 5. Thursday night, the Patriots head to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. Then on Friday, the Eagles face the most talked about team in the NFL. Chad Ochocinco, T.O., and Paul O'Neill's Cincinnati Bengals.
The Bengals.
Patriots-Falcons Thursday at 8, and Eagles-Bengals Friday at 8 on Fox 5. There's Fox's Kurt Menefee in the crowd.
The Fox had their big meetings out in Westchester where I'm staying the last
Really?
couple of days. Yeah. So Howie Long working out. Still looks like he can play. Terry Bradshaw was out there.
Who throws up more iron, you or Howie Long?
Well, he was doing the treadmill.
Oh, okay.
So I did that day. How's that?
There's Enrique Gonzalez. Popped up. Santiago backpedals, and he makes the play for the second out.
A lot happens out there, you know. Fox is in town. I fixed my golf swing today. Howard fixed my golf swing at the range today.
Who's Howard?
The golf pro out there. Helped me out today. If this one works, I'm good to go.
Here's Cano. Now, is Howard a friend of Frank and Mary?
No, Frank and Mary out to dinner right now with my wife and kids. Howard's at home probably thinking about my golf swing.
Rounded foul.
Played 3 holes today, Mike, and I'll tell you why. Par 1, par 2, birdie 3.
Wow. And then you left.
Well, Aaron hit a ball off the... He didn't like his hole, so he swatted his ball in the lake. So I said, all
I
right,
wonder where he gets that
that's
from.
enough of that one. There's a lake on the next one. I said, I'm not ruining my day. We're out of here. Let's go. Instead of picking it up, just whack it in the water.
Foul back.
I think that's got something to do with my genes. Is that what you're insinuating over there?
It's not Neville's.
Yeah.
What do you think of that ruling in the PGA where they docked the guy 2 strokes? Awful.
You know, if that looked like a sand bunker to me, I don't know. I've never played on it. I mean, that's one of the prettiest courses I've ever seen. I've never seen a dirt sand bunker that people stand in.
It didn't have a rake next to it, right? Every bunker I played out of has a rake next to it.
The 0-2 inside 1 and 2.
Now, Michael, I want to go on record. I played a round of golf with Paul O'Neill.
How'd that go?
Wasn't good.
Well, he didn't play well for his standards, but I did not see the Paul O'Neill temper that I wanted to see out there.
Really?
Very calm.
I gave up early.
Very subdued.
Gave up early. You know, a couple double bogeys early, you know it's not your day.
Shocking.
So you came to the course expecting that. I got nothing.
You know what I wanted to see?
So you're a little disappointed I didn't hurl the club up in a tree or something.
I had 2 balls. I wanted to see him swing hard. I didn't. He swings nice and easy out on the golf, and he never snapped. It was boring.
You know what? That I have snapped on that course before. So maybe I've been warned. Huh?
Here's the 2-2. High fly ball, center field. Austin Jackson back. He's there, and he'll make the play. But the Yankees get into the run on 2 hits. And it's a former Tiger who does the damage. Curtis Granderson goes yard into the bleachers. It's 3-1 Yanks. They're doing it Hope Week, and this one involves Jane Lang, a woman who takes the train in to Yankee Stadium every day from New Jersey. She's a blind woman. She has a guide dog with her, and today she was met at her home by the Yankees, and they traveled with her on New Jersey Transit, then the 4 train. They walked into the stadium. They take the D train, I'm sorry, and there are the Yankees. Tino is there, Jabba, and David Robertson, and Joe Girardi. And it's just a special, special moment. She learned about baseball from her dad playing checkers, and that's how he taught her where the positions are and things like that. And she brought out the lineup card today. And, Paul, you also got a chance to interact with Jane Lang as well.
It was awesome. It was the first time that I had been the new Monument Park out there in the field. I got to meet her, and just to see her eyes, I mean, she would feel the plaques. You know, she had her dog, Clipper, named after Yankee Clipper, and it just one of the funniest moments I had is she was feeling all the faces of the plaques, and she met me, and there we are out in Monument Field or Monument Park, and she felt Mickey Mantle, and this was the first one I showed her was Babe, and it was such a, I mean, I got goosebumps talking about it, and she said, boy, he looks and feels tired. It was Mickey Mantle. I said, well, he said he didn't take very good care of himself.
That's a base hit by Gerald Laird.
But just an unbelievable thing, and you know, we probably spent 15, 20 minutes out there, and literally it could have been hours, because just to watch what she was going through, it was really, really cool. Just every name that I rattled off, she knew a story about him. She just, I mean, just joy, and you really felt it.
Did she touch your face and say you seemed angry, or
no? She told me I was taller than she thought I was.
Wow. So that's the second day of Hope Week. Yesterday, a beautiful gesture by the Yankees with a young man from New Jersey. And she did a lot of stuff with Joe Girard. She felt everybody's face. There she is with Jorge Posada and Robinson Cano. Just a really sweet thing. And then she gives Derek Jeter a hug. As Austin Jackson swings and misses.
And I said, you know, I have a question for you. I said, what was your favorite year? Because she's been around since you see even the field. And she went through a few things. She said 1998. And I said, well, I'm glad to be part of that team. So that's unbelievable memories for her, and it brought a good feeling to a lot of people today.
The 1-1 runner goes, and the ball fouled away. Now she takes a long trip every single day from New Jersey on the train with her guide dog, and New Jersey Transit from Morris Plains, and all the Yankees took the trip with her, and she's got it down to a science, and she comes to the ball game and she feels the crowd and just knows what's going on. Just great. Really
an amazing way she does it. She fills her pockets with candy on one side, and she knows how many stops it is to Yankee Stadium. And every time, she puts one piece of candy to one pocket, and by the time that one pocket is empty, she's at Yankee Stadium.
Austin Jackson goes down on strikes. Austin Jackson with another strikeout, and he's leading the American League in strikeouts with 125. The last rookie to finish a season as the American League leader in strikeouts was Pete Incaviglia. He struck out 185 times for the Rangers in 1985. And that is the record for most strikeouts in one season by a rookie.
Incaviglia was one of those guys that one strike, two strikes, no strikes. It was the same swing.
Same swing. I said two different hitters. Austin Jackson more of a back the ball up.
Yeah.
Incaviglia, swing as hard as you can. Hope you make contact.
And I think that's the thing that concerns the Tigers. And we saw Austin Jackson at the home run in the first inning. But if you're going to strike out that much, you have to have more than 2 home runs. You just have to. There's got to be a trade-off for all the swings and misses.
Well, Jim Leyland feels like that's going to come, and you wonder how many home runs. Whether for 10, 15, 20, I don't know what's going to happen. But, you watch a guy take BP every day, you probably have a better feeling of what that number's going to be.
See, in my mind, if you're a leadoff hitter, it's really not the number of home runs. But if you cut those strikeouts, say, in half, what could you hit? I mean, there's a 300 hitter right now. You give yourself another 50, 60 chances by putting the ball in play. I mean, you're talking about hitting 320 or 330, and that's a big difference.
2-0 count on Santiago. Runner at first with 1 out. Yankees lead 3-1. Now, this is, out of left field. You strike out 160 times. What do you think is a proper amount of home runs you should have to trade 160 strikeouts?
Well, that's power hitter numbers. Yeah. I mean, you're talking about 35, 40 home runs and 100 and some RBIs.
Well, he might have 160 strikeouts this year.
You throw the batting average out for a guy like that, right? 240, hit me 30 home runs.
There's a strike.
And here's the next question. Can you teach a guy to become more of a contact hitter?
I think you can. I think that you teach the approach. I mean, if this is your swing with no strikes, and then you take a video, this is your swing with two strikes. It's got to be somewhat of a different approach.
Hot shot to Jeter. Let's see if they turn 2. There's 1. There's 2. 6-4-3. And that'll do it in the third. No runs a hit, no errors. And because of the DP, Nobody left on base. We're going to the bottom of the third with the Yankees up 3-1. Go out of town, though, and that scoreboard brought to you by Infinity, luxury cars that deliver inspired performance. Boston leads the Angels 1-0 top of the fourth. Tampa Bay 3-0 over Texas as Cliff Lee did not have a great game last night as the Tampa Bay Rays won. Minnesota and Chicago. That's a big series starting tonight. Cleveland and KC also starting shortly. Toronto and Oakland on the coast. And you'll see those go through as we move along. And here's Nick Swisher.
Flash, you look at Boston, and it's, can they, without Euclid, without Beckett being Beckett, can they stay in this race? I believe Tampa Bay can, but can Boston stay in this race?
For me, Beckett's got to be the Beckett. You know, he's got to be the guy who goes out there where you feel like he can dominate, and that solidifies that rotation. They got Pedroia back today.
Right.
Nice addition. I think it's all with their rotation, though.
Yeah, part of the answer to your question, though, Paul, can they stay in the race? They have.
Right.
I mean, they've been ravaged by injuries, and they're within striking distance. They're 6 games back in the loss column. Swisher with an 0-2 count. And he grounds out one the first. Cabrera will flip to Verlander, and there's one away. Some news and notes from around the major leagues. Dustin Pedroia activated from the 15-day DL. They've missed him. Chase Utley activated after wrist surgery from the 15-day DL. And Frankie Rodriguez torn thumb ligament out for the season. And it was announced about an hour ago that the Mets are going to try to get that salary back because the injury was suffered on an off-the-field issue.
That had to be a hot topic on your radio station, right? And what do the fans feel?
You know, they're down on him because he hasn't pitched that well, so I think that they're kind of slanted against him. But for the most part, most of the writers in the city think as well. You know, they shouldn't have to pay him.
Right.
I'm not so sure that they should be able to void his contract next year. If he's healthy to pitch next year, why should he should have that money? But until he can get back, then they shouldn't have to pay him because that injury was not suffered on the field. But if they try to go too far, I think that's wrong too.
See the Union step in real quick if they try to do that.
Jorge Posada hit with a pitch, and it brushed his uniform on the way by. This is the way to get hit, I guess, if there is any way to get hit.
Even in yes or my 9 here, we see in slow motion that ball makes a bunch of waves in that jersey when it goes by.
Called Nine-Mo.
Mimo?
Nine-Mo.
You know, you I've got so many terms up here that I forget every night. I get in trouble.
The 0-1. grounded foul.
Appreciate how sympathetic you are when I screw up here too, Mike.
I'm very sympathetic. Yeah. You don't mess up that much.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss at Tim's down on strikes. This inning is the closest inning we've seen to Verlander being Verlander. So Tim's now 0 for 2, and that brings up Granderson, who is red hot. And we broke it down in segment 2, John. Whatever Kevin Long did with him, it seems like it's clicking in. I don't know if it's a momentary bump, but he looks like he solved a lot of his issues.
Well, I think the biggest thing for Kevin Long, and more importantly for Curtis, when you make some adjustments to get that instant results, where, what, I'm picking up some hits, I'm swinging the bat well, then your confidence goes up. But I think the best word to describe it now, it's a simple swing. Not a whole lot of movement.
Popped up. Inge. Leans. Jumps. Can't make the play. Let's see if there's a difference. This is in June on the left. This is now on the right.
He's dropped his hands a little bit, and you see that his hands are moving back more here, where he has a time for the ball to travel, much quicker swing. Follow throughs a little bit longer, and the big thing is the mental part. I mean, all right, he's hot right now. He's getting some hits. Now, the first 0 for 4 he gets, whether it's tomorrow or next week, does he go back to being a hot hitter, or does he go back to where he was in April and May? And that's the game that you play as a player.
Well, you mentioned last night, though, every year you had different mechanics or different keys. It was a different swing. And maybe at this point for Curtis, even when he goes through a little lull, he'll have something to go back to, get back on track.
Posada going and gets a stolen base. It was as if they didn't even pay attention. Cabrera was playing behind him, and Posada said, oh, yeah? So a rare stolen base for the slow-footed Posada.
You got to watch the jump that he gets. He sets up Cabrera, nice little conversation, and then that first step, Paul, right there. Can't teach that. His third stolen base has not been thrown out.
Those are the things that, actually embarrass you as a pitcher, that you would let somebody do that. But, you get so caught in it. Jorge Posada's a catcher. He's not going to run. You worry about the hitter.
Ground ball to first. And that'll do it. So Posada picks up his third stolen base. That's a career high. A career high. It also brought some smiles from the New York Yankees. Derek Jeter cannot believe his buddy has just swiped second base.
Well, who is that?
And that was one of the most iconic homers in baseball history. Bobby Thomson winning that 3-game playoff against the Dodgers in 1951. And the baseball world lost Bobby Thomson yesterday at the age of 86. And we send out our condolences to Bobby's family. Just a real gentleman who obviously took part in one of the great baseball moments of all time. And he will be missed. Johnny Damon fouls it off.
Johnny didn't even know where it went.
1923 to 2010. Bobby Thomson passed away yesterday. Damon robbed of an extra base hit, diving Granderson in the first inning in left center. You know, if you look at Johnny Damon, his statistics now, if he plays to the age of 40, he's going to get 3,000 hits and continues at this production. And all of a sudden, then, he's a Hall of Famer, because if you have 3,000 hits, you're going to go to the Hall of Fame. So it's hard to believe. You look at him and go, wow, he's going to get 3,000 hits if he continues at this rate.
He's got a couple rings. I mean, he's put together a solid career. There's no doubt about it. And, you know, he was a leadoff hitter early in his career. A lot of at-bats, a lot of hits, used his legs, his speed. All of a sudden, he became a guy who could hit the ball out of the park later in his career. And some big hits in the World Series, getting to the World Series. So he's done some things, and he's got 2,533 hits right now.
Popped up. And out of play. Said something today that kind of was very, very harsh and stark. It's going to probably anger Boston fans. He said, I had a great time. He said, and the best place I've ever played in my life was in New York with the Yankees those 4 years. And I said, better than Boston? He goes, oh, much better. The fans are better. He goes, the organization, the way they treat their players. He said, Yankees much better than Boston. So I'm sure he will not be greeted warmly the next time he's at Fenway Park.
You know, as a player, when you get to the point in your career where you can really say what you want, you say the truth. I mean, and the Yankees are a quality organization who treat their players well.
Then he had a very funny line, which, you know, kind of a little mini swipe as he works a walk. He said all last year, everything I kept telling the Yankee players, why the difference between the Yankees and the Red Sox. He said, with the Red Sox, they never sign their own free agents, ever. Here with the Yankees, they keep their free agents. He said, I guess I was the exception.
Just passed with Boston. He was a true Red Sox. You can't sign him as a free agent as a Yankee.
And that pitch gets past Posada as Damon will go to second. Tonight's league leaders are brought to you by New York Lottery Powerball. With Powerball and Mega Millions, now you have 4 days a week to win. Play big, play both. Miguel Cabrera, one behind Alex Rodriguez, RBI leaders. Mark Teixeira's fifth with 86. Cabrera hit a pretty good pitch by Java Chamberlain last night. You know, you say, well, he gave up a home run. But if you watch the pitch, he took it off the ground outside and just put it in the right field seats. Not by much, but it counts. That's the kind of power he has. Sometimes it's not the pitcher's fault.
You take another look. I mean, it's down. Possibility it could bounce into the glove for a Posada, but it ends up in the right field seats. It tells you how strong Cabrera is.
Java has been pitching very well of late. Fouled away.
You see he missed a little bit there, but the first two pitches in this count, trying to bust him in. I think in this type of park where he can reach right field that easy, I don't care how big and strong he is, I think you've got to bust him inside, especially with a base open. I mean, if you miss, you miss in. If you walk in, you walk in. But again, your scouting report flash to start the game, you cannot let this guy beat you. I mean, you've got to be here and here all night on this guy.
Grounded to third. Nice play by Pena. One away as Damon stays put at second base. It's time for the Dodge Trivia question, which is brought to you by your local Dodge dealers. Who was the on-deck batter when Bobby Thomson hit the shot heard around the world? I know that one.
Really?
Oh, yeah. You're going to know it, too.
So it's a well-known player, then?
I'm not saying that. No clues. But you will say, oh, yeah.
Really?
Well, that's a lot of help.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Nice clue.
All right, the clue is it is a well-known player.
Okay. Still didn't help. Don't worry about it.
But at that time wasn't that well-known.
No.
It was just a rookie.
Now you're playing games with me.
I'm telling you.
No, I got smoked in categories and taboo the other night at home, and now I'm getting beat up here, too, in the games.
So the O'Neills are playing categories in taboo.
You know
I mean,
what?
you guys are just nuts.
We got home from a nice night out, and Neville pulls out this thing. Everybody's home. And you know how you used to, you're going to go through this, Michael, in the future. You beat your kids and everything. They're little kids.
Right.
Well, the kids have grown up now, so the parents are absolutely getting dusted in anything we play. And you feel like such a fool when your 14-year-old is like laughing at you, just mocking you because you're in last place. But it happened.
That one is driven out to center field. Granderson drifts back, still back. He'll make the play as Damon tags and goes to third.
Tomorrow night on the Yes Network, the Bombers play Game 3 of this series against the Tigers with complete coverage starting at 6 o'clock. Then after the postgame, don't miss longtime Yankee Andy Pettit on GMC Presents Center Stage with Michael Kay. It all starts tomorrow night at 6 o'clock, only on the Yes Network.
Now, I'm curious, with the categories in taboo, I mean, do you have the beer bong over on the side? I mean,
yeah,
how does that exactly work?
Yeah, Allie was stumbling to the refrigerator.
Runner at third base with 2 outs. Yankees are leading 3-1. We're in the top of the 4th. Pitch outside.
You still giving? We were just reading the center stage. You still giving the foxhole question on center stage?
Absolutely.
Is that like just a given?
That's the money question.
And who would you remember who Andy's foxhole guys were?
His foxhole was dad.
His dad.
Yes.
His father.
Mm-hmm. The 1-0. 1-1. Andy actually had a big day today. He played some catch in the outfield, then threw a bullpen session, and then actually went to get an MRI just to check to see if everything was okay. With the groin problem, he still feels it grabbing just a bit, so there's no timetable at this point when Andy's going to get back. But the longer he's out, then the longer he's going to take to get back to the level he left at, which was outstanding. He was one of the better pitchers in the game.
Very, very frustrating for him right now to know what type of year he's having, know how good he felt. Now to come down with this and to still feel it, to know that you can't go out there at 100%, very frustrating when he walked in today. That not that he re-injured it or anything, but just that he still feels it. And as you get older, you just don't heal as quick, and it's there's nothing more than he wants to do and take that mound every 5th day right now.
Well, it's the toughest thing for Gene Monahan, Steve Donahue, Joe Girardi to make him do absolutely nothing.
Right.
And it sounds like that's what he's going to have to do for a few days at least to get it cleaned up.
Count 3-1.
Once that's September 1st, that date's on the horizon that you can expand the rosters. You wouldn't expect anything to rush to anything, because right then you can come off anytime after that. So I don't know what you do as a pitcher to try to keep your arm in shape and let your leg heal, because he doesn't feel it long tossing. He doesn't feel it, throwing. When you drive off the mound, which, Andy uses his legs, that's why he's a quality pitcher and he's been around so long. That drive off the mound is where he still feels it.
It is amazing, though, no matter how tough the guy is, and the first reaction, especially with a veteran, this is not that bad, I didn't need to go on the DL. And usually the team's initial diagnosis turns out to be correct. It's going to be 5 or 6 weeks, and the player rolls his eyes. I can't believe they put me on the DL, but they know what they talk. And when you're older, it takes longer to come back from injuries.
Yeah, it's not the first time Gino's seen something like this. Gino and Stevie have been around a long time, have seen a lot of injuries, and it's amazing how you see the same type of injuries in baseball with pitchers and everyday players, and there's a timetable for things. Once in a while you'll get lucky and beat the timetable, but for the most part, Gino and Stevie are right on. I remember going in the training room and getting stuff, and somebody would say, "You heard it? Don't tell Gino." He said, "Don't tell Gino. Don't tell Stevie."
count 2-0. And Sabathia slowly working himself into a big jam here. Inge has not had much success against Sabathia, 7 for 51, but Dave Island wants to straighten out his left-hander right now with the score 3-1, runners on first and third. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees.
CC got off to a rough start in the first inning, kind of got back on track the second and third, but here in the fourth, not looking comfortable. Falling off the mound a little bit towards the third base line.
.63 pitches so far with 2 outs into the fourth inning. And now it's 3-0 on Inge. And on deck is Brennan Bosch.
This is a guy that CC Sabathia does not want to walk. I mean, Brandon Inge has horrible numbers against Sabathia. 7 for 51 lifetime, 137 batting average. So this is a guy that you know you can get out if you make good pitches.
There's a good pitch right on the outside corner, 3-1.
It's one of those nights where it's not happening easy for CC. And you know, you look at velocity, 92, that's down for him. Location has not been good. It's been a battle.
Something in the air about this velocity.
Yeah.
Seems like everybody's down this week.
There's a strike. That pitch was up, but they call it for a strike. A changeup up in the zone.
They need another battery in that red radar gun. You see those borderline pitches right there. Again, that ball is borderline high. Players aren't used to seeing that ball called.
Well, Rayburn's going to go from first on 3-2. Jim Leland barking at Bill Miller. Didn't like that call. And the 3-2 pitch. He swings and misses. On a fastball diving down and in. And Leland is not pleased at all. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 men left. We go to the bottom of the fourth. 3-1 Yankees.
Question was, who was the on-deck batter when Bobby Thompson hit the shot heard round the world? After the pitch, we will get you that answer as Justin Verlander misses with a first pitch fastball. And here is the answer, Mr. Willie Mays.
I remember that guy. Say, hey, kid. Wow. I'd say he was well known, right?
That's right. Verlander misses with another fastball. Ramiro Pena playing third base tonight in place of Alex Rodriguez. The Yankees leading 3-1. Good fastball for strike one. Pena had a base hit in the second inning. So batting average now up to 212, 13 RBIs. Verlander's pitch count now at 82. Had to work awfully hard during this ball game. 45 strikes, 37 balls, not the ratio that you're looking for.
I mean, when you throw your ace out there, you think it's going to be an easy night as a manager. Pops that one up. You know, there's some nights as a manager you know that you're going to have to piece things together, but you know, when your ace takes the mound as tonight with CC Sabathia, also you expect your bullpen to be in order, possibly go to your your setup guy and to your closer, and that's about it. But when he struggles like this, well, we saw the phone thing picked up in the second inning. Unusual night for Justin Verlander.
You wonder if Verlander just has on his mind right now as he misses with a fastball. Can I just give them a few innings here? You know, stretch it out, Paul. Maybe get 4, 5, 6 innings.
Yeah, I would think if you're a pitcher and at this point in the game, and you're especially a #1 guy that you feel that if I just get through the 6th, my team might have an opportunity to score a couple runs, might be able to snake out here with a win.
Behind in the count to Brett Gardner, now 2-0.
Yeah, the win-loss thing's always in the back of the mind of the pitchers.
Of course.
Got to get through the 4th, 5th, and 6th.
I just went out to meet Jane.
Jane's awesome.
She's awesome, and she's raving about you. I was trying to talk her out of it.
Yeah. See, she knows the good things about you. You haven't seen those yet.
Yeah, she started feeling my face. I said, don't. It's not worth it.
She used both hands on you to feel
see, that's a big head joke, right? That's great. That's just wonderful. Wow. And there's a strike to Gardner, but she's going to come by, John, because she wanted to meet you. She says you're a doll.
A doll?
Yeah, she could tell that you're a doll from your voice.
She tell a lot of things when she touches you, so smile and act happy.
She's out there right now, John, if you want to go see her. And for those that just joined us late, Jane is part of the Yankees Hope Week, and she takes trains to the stadium. She's blind, and she brings her guide dog, Clipper. And she was just raving to me, Paul, about how nice you were in Monument Park.
It's a neat thing. It's the first time I've been out there, too.
So 1 on, 1 out here in the 4th inning, and that's going to bring up Derek Jeter. Yankees at 3-1, and it's funny how this game feels, Paul, because you feel like they've owned Verlander, but the Tigers are very much in this game. It's just 3-1.
I mean, and we were just talking about if he could just get to the 5th, 6th inning, he's got an opportunity to maybe snake out a win, but. Again, the bullpen is going to come into play at this game with this many pitches, 89 pitches in the 4th inning. You know he's not going 8 or 9 innings tonight.
Verlander is their horse for sure, but you're not going to push him that much. Throw to first in Gardner's bat. Runner goes. Throw to second. Not in time. How about Peralta starting to toss around the ball as if he got the out, and he's not going to win any friends from Chad Fairchild there on that.
Trying to sell this, and we're going to see it obviously in slow motion, but Brett Gardner, these new shoes are doing everything. They're stealing bases, getting hits. We're going to have to get another angle on this.
Let's see.
He's out.
And now Jim Leland is out talking with Fairchild. And this will give us a better look. Did it hit before the fingertips hit? I think so.
Yeah, he's out. Jim Leland's had a little bit to say the last couple innings with the strike zone, and now at this call here. You see Laird, I mean, he's not used to seeing guys steal on him. Good throw. Peralta's already thrown the ball around like he's got him. Got to take that personal back there, don't you, Flash? Guys stealing bases. You got that 1 or 2 opportunities a game to try to gun somebody down.
You know what it is when you get a guy like Brett Gardner or Kenny Lofton, one of the premier stolen base guys. You take pride in throwing them out. You do everything right.
Man. I mean, you can throw out a couple guys, and it makes your night as a catcher. know, it's funny, Peralta didn't even look for the outside. He just assumed that he got it. Wow. You see, Derek just looks a little jumpy up there. Something's not right, not comfortable. You see that last hack, that wasn't one of his better ones. Just kind of off balance and just a little behind that one, huh, Flag?
Yeah, a little timing problem. Huh? Like you want to get that front foot down a little bit earlier.
Every once in a while, no matter how good you are, you come up with a swing like that.
Swing and a miss. Jeter down on strike. So he walked his first 2 times. Now he strikes out against Verlander.
You get sped up for the fastball. You're a little late, and then all of a sudden you get a slider down and away. Backside goes out. A little wave. I'm used to seeing some of those swings against Verlander like that when he's on.
Here is Teixeira. So was the clue okay? It was Willie Mays, famous, but not that famous.
I know him. He was. It's pretty impressive. Not the story's better when you throw in a Willie Mays or a Joe DiMaggio or Mickey Mantle and the guys like that. It enhances the story, makes it that much better.
Hey, great news today. Yogi Berra was actually at the ballpark. And this is after the fall, right before Old Timers Day. Just to see him here, it makes everything right.
I talked to him for 20 minutes down in the clubhouse. It does, you're right. It just makes you feel good about things when you walk in and you see Yogi walking around. Let me tell you, and if you know this, somebody's told you, but when or how did Yogi get his nickname? Do you know this?
I know it was in St. Louis. His real name is Larry.
Right. So I asked him, I said, Larry, Yogi, when's the last time somebody called you Larry? And he said, American Legion. I said, really? I said, well, why'd they call you Yogi?
Was it Yogi Bear?
No, he said, in American Legion, we had no dugouts, no bench, which put me out of the game already because I've never played on the field. So he said, we used to sit on the dirt.
That's right.
And he said, I used to sit Indian style with my hands crossed. And he said, the one guy looked over at me, he said, I look like a yogi. And he said, it's stuck ever since from American Legion.
And a lot of people think that Yogi Bear was kind of named after Yogi Berra.
As we went through those monuments today, Jane, every name, it just brought a smile to her face, and Yogi was one of them, obviously.
Mark Teixeira goes down on strikes. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 man left. Let's go to the 5th. 3-1 Yanks. Volvo for life. CC Sabathia with a 3-1 lead. And he deals a strike to Brennan Bosch. Some news on Andy Pettitte. His MRI results came back. Small, persistent strain of the left groin. He will throw off flat ground, but not throw off a mound for approximately 1 week. Count 0-2, and obviously that's going to set him back till sometime in September, because it means he would not have pitched for about 5 weeks when he finally goes up the mound, and it feels no pain whatsoever.
You got to figure there'd be a couple of mound sessions, maybe a simulated game. Wonder about a rehab start.
Now, the one thing that gets troubling, John, is if it's, first week of September, you run out of minor league games, so then it does become simulated.
I guess if there's some minor league clubs playing in the playoffs, you might be able to get a start in one of those games.
Swing and a miss. Bosch down on strikes. Some more rehab news. Alfredo Aceves pitching with Double-A Trenton, 2 1/3 innings, 1 hit, 1 run. Struck out 4 through 35 pitches. And that's really not about results at all. That's about, is his back holding up? And if it is, he's going to really help the Yankees. Hey, how would you feel if you're a Double-A or Triple-A team? You made the playoffs, you're going for the championship, and all of a sudden Andy Pettitte standing there with his hat pulled down, facing you? That would not be fun. Here's Gerald Laird. Now, Gerald Laird's brother is a highly touted prospect in the Yankee system. Brendan Laird, you might have seen him play in some spring training games that we had. Laird started in Double-A this year, hit .291, 23 homers and 90 ribbies. Since then, he's called up to Triple-A, where he's at .275, 2 homers and 5 ribbies. I know the Yankees like him.
He got some pop, obviously. The third baseman, if I remember right?
Yep, third baseman. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. 2 away. This fall, How I Met Your Mother is coming 5 days a week to My 9. It's all about a man, his search to find his future wife, and the wild adventures his friends have along the way. It's one of TV's hottest comedies, How I Met Your Mother. Weeknights this fall on My 9.
Strange game for CC Sabathia. I mean, he struggled in the first, looked great in the second and third, then struggled again in the fourth, and here in the fifth. Back-to-back strikeouts.
And there's a strike to Austin Jackson. Jackson led off the game first pitch. Home run. Only his second home run of the year. Then struck out looking in the third. Part of the deal. 3-way deal, Diamondbacks, Yankees, and Tigers, that brought Curtis Granderson to the Bronx. Phil Koch also in that deal from the Yankee end. And Ian Kennedy as well. Now, we showed you Aceves' numbers in Trenton, and after the game, he was asked if he's ready to come back. And this was his quote. Yeah, I think so.
That gets you back to the big leagues in a hurry, won't it?
That is a direct quote. Yeah, I think so. So let's see if he's back. The 1-2. Fouled away.
I was thinking about it, though. You don't really have to rush him back. I mean, obviously, you would love to have him on your staff, but the bullpen right now for the Yankees, you got a lot of arms down there throwing the ball well.
Right.
Kerry Wood, Chad Godin's limited opportunities has been better lately. I think that there's one guy down there who's struggling.
You got Mitre coming back soon, too, so you do have a lot of arms that can come back and help you when the time comes. So much fun you have in the bullpen when you're doing things right. Your ace is out there. You probably won't get in the game till late. Might as well hoot and holler a little bit.
Strike three. Jackson down looking. CC Sabathia strikes out the side. In fact, he struck out the last 4 Tigers. He's retired. Brendan Bosch goes down on the breaking ball. Then Gerald Laird, pure heat. And Austin Jackson, he goes down looking. We're halfway through. This day in Yankee history is brought to you in part by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Visit CadillacTristate.com to find a dealer near you. We go back to 1976 with the game tied at 1 in the bottom of the ninth. Greg Nettles leads off with a solo home run to give the Yankees a 2-1 walk-off win against Texas. Let's go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Yankees are up 3-1. Verlander still on the mound. And Cano swings and misses. On the Volvo scoreboard, 3-1. The Yankees lead. The Yankees scored 2 in the first on Nick Swisher's bases loaded single through the left side of the infield. And then Granderson led off the second inning with a home run into the bleachers and right. And that's the Yankees scoring. The Tigers scoring, the first pitch of the game, Austin Jackson, a home run into the seats and left. What Paul O'Neill likes to call State Farmville. The 0-2. Swing and a miss, and now Verlander has struck out 3 Yankees in a row.
He's starting to find his groove in the middle of the ballgame. Problem for him, the pitch count at 101. He's a guy who can go up to about 120, 125. Tough at bat for Robinson Cano. First pitch changeup, last pitch slider.
Well, I got to tell you, Michael, being here early today, I was hanging out in the locker room just a little more than I would, and I'm sitting in there with Robbie, and I'm like, Robbie,
who?
Robbie Kakuza, you do nothing for me anymore. You send me nothing up here. He said, you know what? I'm going to hook you up tonight. I'm going to send you the best pizza you'll ever eat. Well, I look at back here, it's like a bunch of mice. It's just scattered. Everybody's back there. Well, I'm not going to lie. I did just have a piece of the pizza. It is one of the better pizzas I've had. Frank Pepe's. You heard of Frank Pepe's?
Oh, legendary. Yeah.
Awesome.
I think they started in Connecticut. Now they have places in Westchester.
I know one thing. Robbie didn't deliver it. Joey Lee came up here. And by the way, he corrected me last night when I said Robbie's going to have a tough night with Granderson's uniform. Joey Lee corrected me and said, I claim those uniforms. Robbie doesn't do that.
That one has popped up and out of play. Now, for those that don't know, Robbie Kakuza is the Yankees clubhouse manager.
And who wouldn't know better pizza around the Bronx than Robbie Kakuza, right?
I can't think of anybody.
Huh? So now we're on the same page, Robbie. I appreciate that.
The 2-1. 3-1.
I saw Tino today, too. He came in for the whole thing, and his daughter's going to go to Florida.
That's right.
Huh?
That's what I'm talking about.
Did you put in a word for it?
I'm really not at liberty to discuss.
Is that right?
No, she's a great student. She's a great student, and she got in on her own.
Yeah?
Yeah, she's a really smart girl.
Have to be, right? Get into Fordham.
It's a tough school to get into, John.
Said she absolutely loved the campus. I drove by there.
Well, there's the Michael K. Pavilion. You really enjoy it.
I drove to the ballpark one day, Flash, and I just cannot get the picture out of my head of Michael walking with his books in his hands. It just ruined it for me. I don't care how pretty it is. Yeah.
Nice play by Mick Keller.
The Argyle sweater with the bow tie and the books in his hands. I cannot get it out of my head.
Wow, it's almost like you were there. Well, if the Reds hadn't drafted you, you'd have been on the Florida campus, books under the arm.
That's right.
Popped up. And the catch made by Peralta.
Where were you going to go?
University of South Florida.
Robin Roberts.
Yeah, Robin Roberts.
We really should give John some love. He went to a great school, George Washington.
George Washington. I just missed your coach not too long ago, Mike Jarvis, down at in Florida, in Boca, Florida Atlantic.
And also the great school of the Yankee president, Randy Levine. So if Randy Levine can go to George Washington, it's a top flight school.
That's right.
Not quite sure how Flash got in, but
wow, I got in because of baseball. I'll be honest. I'll be honest. It's the only way I got in.
Posada has walked twice and his third stolen base of the year, a career high for him. And that one is laced in the center for a single.
Jorge's been struggling a little bit lately. This will help the cause. A nice little sinker away, stays on it, drives it right back up the middle. Wow.
That ball had
what was that puff of smoke?
Must have been rosin, or can't throw a dust ball up there, but did you see that little puff of smoke when he hit that ball?
And now Posada ties a great Yankee catcher, Thurman Munson, 1,558 hits.
That's going to mean a lot to Jorge right there. It's a big name to tie.
Number 15. Grounded foul. Now, just to finish up, John was a very good student. That's why I got into GW. Now, Leiter got into Stanford. I'll finish the sentence.
What?
Yeah, Leiter was accepted to Stanford.
Really?
That had to be.
Left-handed who threw about 94. That's why I got into Stanford.
Count 1-1.
So you put that on the bottom of your ACT test? I'm a left-hander, throws 94.
Does that
help me?
I think he threw 98, so that really got him in. One. Well, Verlander's really found it after two really tough innings where he only gave up 3 runs. He certainly has not taken his team out of the game with those innings. And he's battling. He's at 113 pitches, and after having the bullpen up in the second inning, he's going to get them through 5 in all likelihood. Strike 3. And he strikes out Marcus Timms for the second time. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We played 5 at the stadium. Yankees lead 3-1 on my 9. Baseball on My 9 is brought to you in part by Kia Motors. To learn more, visit kia.com. Continental Airlines, work hard, fly right. And by your local Lexus dealer.
Michael, what did you hear last night about the grand opening of the Meadowlands last night, the football team?
Everybody I talked to really liked it. You know, it had a much different. You know, I was there for the Bon Jovi concert, and I thought it was very plain. But you know, because it was a Jet game, it was all Jets, and they illuminated it in green. You know, so the gray outside looked green, and they said it was very nice. And I talked to Eli Manning today. Said the field was really well done, and everybody liked it.
How's he feeling today?
He said he really
nasty. Yeah.
He said he got a little nervous and panicky when he saw all that blood gushing out on his hand. He said he's probably going to miss next week. He said because he can't get his helmet on his head. I know the feeling.
I was going to say, you've got that problem, don't you?
Because if he puts a helmet on his head, he's going to rip the stitches out. Took 12 stitches, a 3-inch gash on his forehead.
I didn't think of that. I saw the halftime, though, with all the Jets. Joe Namath was out there. I didn't realize it was a Jets home game. So they light it up in green. So they do it different for each team.
And then the Giants, when the Giants play, it gets lit in blue.
Wow. Kind of like the Empire State Building. You just turn the lights on and off and change what colors were. Justin Verlander probably trying to bug for another inning or two.
One-two. Grounded to third. Pena gets Santiago for the first out. As we move along here in the sixth, we'll take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard, which is brought to you by Mazda. Zoom, zoom. Boston leads 6-0. Tampa Bay leads 5-0. So both those teams putting pressure on the Yanks.
Minnesota's just amazes me. I mean, they keep going on. You know, they've got some interest, but they just do things right.
Ron Gardenhire, he doesn't get a lot of fanfare, but every year that team is there.
Right. And, a lot of their success is really based on Detroit not being the team that you thought they'd be coming out, or that they were the first couple months. I mean, they've gone through some injuries, but, they would have fought for that division. Nobody would have put them away if they're 100%. But, in my mind, Detroit Tigers, they're a quick fix. They get people back, and they have good pitching. Next year they could be a team to win 95, 100 games. I mean, they're the basic things of their team are that good.
Well, Maglio Ordonez won't be back. He's in the last year of his deal. You wonder if they'll re-sign Damon, who signed just a one-year deal. Yeah, I asked Johnny today because it's been out there for so much. I said, do you regret not coming back with the Yankees? And he said, well, I wanted to come back. He said, but I told my agent I wanted a 2-year deal. Great play. Great stop by Teixeira. Flip to Sabathia. Not in time.
Mark Teixeira does so many good things defensively, and again, another tough play, fully outreached, doesn't come up with it, but doesn't panic and throw it away.
Wow, very close.
Damon just beat CC to the bag. His glove kind of got at a funny angle, and I think they made the right call. Johnny Damon has a lot of infield hits, especially early in his career when he had really, really good speed.
Anyway, when I asked Johnny, I said, well, what'd you want? He said, well, I told my agent I wanted a 2-year contract. And that's what I wanted. I said, but you took a 1-year contract. Why didn't you do that with the Yankees? And you would have been back. He said, well, by the time I realized that was what was out there and we came back with it, they had gone in another direction. He said, so that's the way it worked out. On the other direction, they signed Nick Johnson. Let's take a look at that play at first one more time. It is bang, bang. Wow. And wow. You got to give Eric Cooper credit because he got that call right. That's the proverbial bang bang. Umpire's getting a lot of grief this year, and that's a good call by Eric Cooper. The 0-2. Driven deep to center field. Going back, Granderson. Still back. It stays in the ballpark. He'll make the catch on the warning track as Damon hustles back to first. In a day game, that ball is probably in Monument Park, but it stayed in there as Granderson ran it down for the second out.
Well, again, I think that he's trying to bust him inside. He just didn't get his arms extended. Again, you see Jorge over there, and if that pitch is out over the plate, you see him probably try to pull his hands in, and when you do that, you lose a lot of your power, but it's close. If CeCe doesn't get that ball in, that ball's in Monument Park. Again, totally different from Jabba last night, allowing him to get his arms extended. CeCe's been on his hands all night. You walk him, but make it tough for him to get that inside pitch and try to drive it.
Pitch inside to Peralta. Again inside, and now Posada wants to talk with Sabathia.
You know, Flash, the more you think about it, and you always hear about the power hitters, don't let them get them their arms extended, bust them inside. And only a few players really come to my mind that really like the ball on the inner side, inside corner. Gary Sheffield, I know, loved the ball in there. But as a catcher, if you can set up and that guy can hit that inside corner, are there a lot of hitters that can really get to it?
No, but the problem is there aren't a lot of pitchers who can consistently throw the ball in there. They have a tough time getting that ball off the plate inside. You miss out over the plate, and that's when it's a home run.
Get hurt. Yeah. I mean, when I look back at Sheffield, he was quick. He loved that ball on the inside part of the plane. Can you think of another power hitter that really likes the ball inside?
You think of Mark McGwire?
Yeah.
He would almost sit on the plate and open up a little bit and look for the ball on the inner half and pull that ball away. Nothing wrong with looking for the ball inside and looking to pull. I know you like to go the other way a lot.
There were some players that Tino was the best. If he looked for a ball inside and got it, it was a home run. But if I looked for a ball inside, I would start to open up and I would lose the whole half of the plate. So I had a lot of trouble when I started guessing inside, hitting anything, because I would open up, and if I got it inside, I'd end up pulling the foul anyway.
Grounded to third. Pena just gets Peralta for the final out of the sixth inning. No runs a hit, no errors, and one man left on base. Nice play by Pena, filling in for A-Rod as we go to the bottom of the sixth. 3-1 Yanks. Dramas on television. It's spies, murder, and a detective with OCD. Check out Burn Notice, Without a Trace, Monk, and The Closer. Enjoy all the drama coming this fall to My 9.
This call to the bullpen is brought to you by Verizon Fios TV, internet and phone. This is beyond cable. This is Fios.
And this is the end of the game for Verlander, who settled down after the first 2 innings. But that's going to do it. It's his shortest outing since June 22nd when he went 2 innings against the Mets. You can see he's aggravated.
He's aggravated, but he kept his ball club in the game.
There's Daniel Slereth will take over. One of the 3 lefties in the bullpen, and you might recognize that name. His dad, Mark Slereth, former NFL player, now an ESPN broadcaster, and his dad's actually in the ballpark today. Swing and a miss. A hard-throwing left-hander, and they got him in the deal, the Granderson deal from the Diamondbacks.
It's got to be interesting, huh? You're a former NFL lineman. Your son turns out to be a left-handed pitcher at the major leagues.
There's Mark Slereth. Got the camera out. His son's pitching in Yankee Stadium.
Heard him talking one time about how tough it is to watch his son pitch in the big leagues. You know, nothing you can do about it.
It's terrible. Watching your kids is much harder than going out there yourself. And I've noticed that in high school basketball. I even go to dance competitions to get nervous. I mean, Allie, she does one of those pirouette things and falls down. I mean, what are you going to say to her on the way home? Honey, that was beautiful. This is terrible.
Swung on it, missed. Laird gets an angle, so a strikeout.
You know, Mike, I'm thinking of, you know, this big trade, and you're talking all the names and numbers, and let's say that it didn't happen.
Right.
Let's go back. Is Austin Jackson playing in the Yankee outfield this year?
It's a great question. I don't think so.
So he's probably in AAA. So what a huge opportunity for him to be in a trade. Sometimes trades are the best things that can happen for players.
I mean, there was some talk that they might have, but, you know, who knows? Maybe Damon gets signed if they don't make that trade. Here's Ramiro Pena. So when you had a bad day in the field and you're driving home, you didn't really want anybody to say anything, did you?
Well, I drove home alone. By that time, the kids, they had school and stuff. And, you know, it's funny, the driver called me last night and said, why did you live out here? And I said it was a perfect thing because I had a half an hour into the ballpark that I could kind of think about who was pitching, what was going to happen. And then I had a half an hour home that I could try to erase if anything bad happened. You know, you just struck out and lost the game. You got a half an hour to try to get over that before you get home. So it worked out perfect for me. Half an hour to get over some stupid question that Michael asked you about. You know, you're in a groove right now. Do you think it's going to change tomorrow? Just something that would irritate you. You remember those questions, Michael?
Yeah, I do. I thought they were legitimate. You didn't like any questions about anything. The only guy, John, that was a better interview when he lost. Now, he could analyze with the best of them, but if he was going well, you couldn't ask him a thing.
Superstitious. Don't bring it
You're
up. Don't recognize
me.
it. Yeah.
That's right. You just get those wheels turning in the wrong direction, and it's hard to stop them.
1-2. Swing and a miss in the dirt. Laird gets another angle. And the Yankees are striking out a lot. 2 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th, and 2 here in the 6th with 2 down.
You mentioned he's got a good fastball. He's showing a quality slider as well. Not a big guy, but able to generate some arm speed. And once you respect the fastball, you're going to take some swings like this on the slider down and in. It's going to make Dad proud watching in the stands. Yeah. Look, you can tell he's nervous. Huh?
Grabbing onto that rail.
His son doesn't look too nervous. Comfortable out on the mound.
Now, Mark's nickname is Stink. His son certainly doesn't tonight. He looks great.
Stink?
Stink.
That's what they call him. On ESPN, they call him Stink. Let's not get into why, but that's his nickname.
If I got a Dink at home, a dog, I'll have you know that Dink in the last week.
That one is looped into right field. That is going to Duncan for a base hit. Gardner's going for 2. The throw, not in time. A hustle double by Gardner. That's his second hit of the night.
Well, Paul, this must be so nice when you can get jammed and hit a little jam shot to right field, and right out of the box you're thinking, 2. I'm going to force the action. We got a 2-run lead, 2 outs in this inning. There's nothing better than speed when you can dictate. The defense has to make a perfect throw to beat you.
Yeah, I just don't know that speed's in the game as much as it used to be, and it's still at a very exciting part of the game. You see that ball just absolutely shatters the bat, but he stays through it. And again, a perfect time to go for it. 2 outs, left-handed right fielder going to the line. It's hard to throw back against your body to second base. Real good decision. Michael, back to my story. I'll have you know that Dink knows how to walk on the treadmill now.
Dink your dog.
Dink the dog.
What type of dog is this?
The Bichon.
Does it move the treadmill?
Yeah, it walks on 2.3. I didn't even have to go outside.
Jeter.
Yeah, my daughter informed me that I have everybody in the family working out, including the dog, except for my wife. That was her statement to me.
Neville won't do it?
She won't listen to me, no.
You should get Dink on P90X, right, John?
P90X, that's right. It's a good program.
2 out. Big run here for Jeet. Big opportunity to put another run up the board for CC.
And a strike from Schlereth.
Yeah, you see that just living and dying on every pitch. But Schlereth has good stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, you've touched on it, Flash. Good curveball, but not that typical lefty out of the pen that throws 84, 85 with a good slider. He's got a good fastball, too.
And the pitch.
That's a nasty slider right there.
Again, you just see that Derek looks just a little out of sync right now. A lot of off-balance swings. I know he's, fooled on a curveball here, but dipping that back shoulder, getting under things a little bit.
You know what? Mark Schlereth has won 3 Super Bowls, and I don't think he's ever been more nervous than right now. I think there's a lot of texting going on there, too. I was just
going to say, Michael talking. Now he's going to be cool. Watch. See that? He's not nervous anymore. Until the pitch comes.
Hot shot, right field, base hit. Gardner will score. Boss throws to second. It's an RBI single for Jeter, and the Yankees lead 4-1.
And again, this is a great thing about Derek Jeter. A couple funky hacks earlier in the game, one in this at bat, but able to turn the page real quick. Ball completely missing from the inside to outside. When you miss out over the plate with 2 strikes to Derek Jeter, this is what he does best. Shoot it to right field. Big run right there. Schlereth knows I missed my location.
Pitch outside to Scherer.
I can't even imagine. I mean, being a dad sitting there watching your son, it's tough enough, like you said, watching a Little League game or a football game. Can't imagine being in the big leagues watching your son out there competing.
I would think it's probably tougher, and you guys could speak to this, for a guy who played at the top level than a dad that his son is just, he's made it to the big leagues and he's in another business. He doesn't know what it feels like to be out there.
Right.
Runner goes. Pitch is high. Throw to second. Stolen base for Jeter.
We talked about Laird behind the plate, how good of a thrower he is. But Derek Jeter goes first move and gets a great jump. Good throw from Laird behind the plate. 14th stolen base of the year. Nothing the Detroit catcher can do here. This is Derek Jeter getting a big hit with 2 outs and now getting himself into scoring position with 2 outs.
2-1. And that's a real good slider he has shown this inning. And Teixeira couldn't hold up. Count 2-2.
And you see Schlereth, he just drops his head when Derek steals that base. And as a lefty, I mean, there's nothing wrong with keeping eye contact, because you can adjust as a lefty if you see the guy take off first move. But when Derek stole that base, he just dropped his head and lost sight of the runner.
2-2. In the dirt, and the count 3-2.
As you said, at first move, and there's such a big difference with 2 outs and a left-hander. You go on first move. You don't read the pitcher. You don't do one thing. You just go. As soon as he goes, you go. And it's a gamble is what it is, because if you get caught, you're going to get thrown out. But a lot of times you get picked off there. But with 2 outs, good opportunity to take a gamble and try to get in scoring position.
Here's the payoff. Fouled away.
It's amazing how you see young pitchers come in and look like they have great stuff, have everything under control. Then all of a sudden, you know, you get a bloop, and then you get a hit, and now everything's labored up, and it just it becomes a mess, and it shouldn't have been. I mean, he's thrown the ball well, and all of a sudden, it seems like he's just laboring to try to get this last out.
And he does. He has strikes out the side. And Daddy is happy about that. But the Yankees do get a run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left. He strikes out the 3 Yankees to retire the side, and we will go to the 7th. Out of the 6th inning, and I guess his biggest complaint is that the ball was in the dirt. Well, it ended up on the dirt, and then Joe Girardi, and you'll see from this angle that the ball was inside. It was close, though. Now, because the ball was dropped, Girardi is telling Teixeira, run. But Teixeira was angry about the call. He didn't run, and then Girardi goes out and argues with the home plate umpire, Bill Miller. All for naught. As Schlereth strikes out the side. Here's Rayburn. Pitch outside, 1-0. But the Yankees do get a big run. They're up 4-1 now here in the 7th. Audi scoreboard, 4-1 Yanks. And the scoreboard is brought to you by our good friends at Audi, Truth in Engineering. The 2-0. There's a strike.
Well, guys, I'm watching CC Sabathia, and he set the standard so high. I mean, what did he give up? 1 run, 3 hits through 6 innings here. Pitch count now at 100. But he just hasn't looked comfortable the whole night, and he's only given up 3 hits and 1 run.
Yeah, I almost talked about it in the last inning where you've got 2 great pitchers out there that neither of them have their best stuff. And it's a 3-1 ball game. Easily, you put 2 young guys out there with no stuff, it's an 8-6 ball. And it's a completely different thing. CC Sabathia has had some innings where he looked real comfortable, and he's also had a few at batters where everything looks out of sync. But again, leadoff home run and nothing since.
So Rayburn flies out to Swisher for the first out. 101 pitches for Sabathia. 1 out in his 7th. There's Brandon Inge. Inge 0 for 2 so far tonight. Grounded to short and struck out. And a strike.
I think that's the difference, Paul. That's why the Yankees miss a guy like Andy Pettitte. Even when he doesn't have his good stuff, he'll find a way to give you 6 quality innings. Take a little off, add on, change-ups.
That one is driven deep to left field. That ball is gone. See ya. Home run Inge. And the Yankee lead is now 4-2.
Well, sooner or later, something's got to catch up. I mean, he had such horrible numbers against CC Sabathia. Brandon Inge is a pretty good player, pretty good hitter. All of a sudden, he gets a pitch he can hit. I mean, he's got a lot of power, threw up a lot of home runs last year.
Check out the pitch. Looked like a fastball. Supposed to be away. It was middle down. That good sound.
I was just going to say that had a little special sound where you know that it's not coming back.
Here's Brennan Bosch. Hey, John, I'm curious. We're watching Sabathia, and his fastball is at about 93, 94. And I watched the game that you and Kenny did in Kansas City. He was at 98, 99. Was that just a very, very nice gun, or was he throwing that hard?
No, we checked with the Yankees and their radar gun, and he was the 97, 98. So maybe a mile an hour off. He had that good of a fastball,
Really?
Yeah.
And he was throwing it in the 9th inning.
Oh, yeah, he had plenty left in him. It was hot in Kansas City. That's why it jumped out at me early on in the first inning that he did not have a great fastball, because that game in Kansas City, when it was that hot, and I talked to him afterwards, he said it just took nothing to get loose. The ball was jumping out of his hand.
But does it make sense that he'd be 5 miles an hour off at his next start?
I guess it doesn't make sense, but it just shows you during the course of a major league season, with even a guy like CC, there are going to be some starts where you have it, and it's not going to be a problem. There are going to be starts like tonight where it's a little bit of work.
The 1-2. Count 2-2.
See Brennan Bosch just, a tough at bat for him to face a quality left-hander, especially when you're going through a tough time. It just doesn't look like he's seen a pitch he can handle. First pitch in this count, a little high fastball out of the zone. If CC makes his good pitch here, then Bosch is going to be going back to the dugout.
Andy Pettitte obviously missing the competition. You can see the way he's walking around the clubhouse. He's been shut down for a while. Did throw in the bullpen today. Had an MRI. Still a slight strain of the groin. Will throw again next week. Missed outside.
Tough pitch to lay off right there. 95 miles an hour just off the outside corner.
Paul said at the open that CC is the Yankees' horse. Well, he's averaged over 111 pitches per start over his last 13 outings. This would be 110. Swing and a miss. 2 away. Let's take a look at the Tigers in-game box score, brought to you by TGI Fridays. The home run by Austin Jackson, the home run by Brandon Inge, and that's pretty much it. Johnny Damon picked up a single And Gerald Laird also picked up a single, a couple of walks. So he has not been as dominant himself, but he's held them to 2 runs over 6 2/3. And here is Gerald Laird. If he gets Laird, well, check it. It's a pinch hitter. And it's Alex Abia.
Interesting choice here. Laird hitting right-handed, having a tough year offensively.
That one is looped into left center field. It is a base hit.
You know, sometimes baseball just doesn't make sense. You pinch hit a right-hander for a lefty who, you're facing CC Sabathia, who just struck out another lefty right off the bench. Little base hit to left field.
Well, Jim Leland knows what he's doing, and I don't, Paul.
Probably got headphones on up there, right?
Well, Joe's not making a pitching change. He's scratching his elbow, but he might actually signal out there in a moment. 111 pitches for Sabathia. That was one of those, all right, what do you got? You got one more out talks? Job is ready. Here's Austin Jackson, struck out in the first and, check that, homered in the first and then struck out in the third and the fifth, both looking. And Dave Island checking to see if Job is ready. Also maybe to get up Boone Logan if it gets to Johnny Damon. There was a swing and a miss.
Good changeup, too. Austin Jackson hit a first pitch fastball for a home run. CC Sabathia was not going to make that mistake again. A good changeup down. Looks like another one coming.
The 0-1. 1-1. And now Boone Logan will start to throw.
Michael, I just got a stat here, and I was saying, take some of his strikeouts. When he puts the ball in play and doesn't strike out, Austin Jackson's hit 419. So obviously you can't take away all the strikeouts, but you take away a lot of it, and well, I tell you what, he's got a chance to be a good average hitter.
Well, you wonder if he cut down on his swing, would he be the same hitter? Crowd looking for a strikeout. He leads the American League in Ks. And now he has one more as Sabathia, pumped up, strikes out Austin Jackson for the final out of the 7th. But the Tigers get another run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left at the end of 6.5 innings of play. It's time for the 7th inning stretch here at the stadium. And with CC strikeout, the Yankees are leading 4-2, but we'll stay right where we are to honor America here in the Bronx.
As we remember the
TGI Fridays. Brett Gardner's been a factor, 2 for 2, a double 2-run score. Derek Jeter with an RBI single. Nick Swisher, a big 2-run single in the first inning. Jorge Posada picked up a single and a stolen base. Curtis Granderson with a home run. And Ramiro Pena has had a single as well. The Yankees 7 hits. And Schlereth deals to Cano, and he fouls it back. Audi scoreboard, 4-7-0, leading 2-5-0. The 0-1. That one's driven deep to right center field. Does it have the length? Yes, it does. It sneaks into the stands. A home run for Cano, and the Yankees lead 5-2.
Seen such a good slider from Schlereth in this ball game, but he makes a mistake right here to Robinson Cano, and he takes advantage. Home run number 22. Supposed to end up down and away, and it just spins middle. Good extension. The only question, would it carry out of here? And it did. First mistake we've seen from that slider.
Yeah, you can't throw a get-me-over slider to Robbie Cano. I mean, he stays in there so well, and it just makes it a mediocre fastball when you hang it.
55 at-bats between home runs for Cano's first home run since July 31st. John mentioned his 22nd and his 74th run batted in.
One of those. You see this ball that just does not have the bite, actually kind of backs up into his barrel. And swing by Robbie. But one of these nights that Jim Leyland thinks, you know, we're fighting back into the game, and every time you get, you know, within 2 runs or so, all of a sudden the Yankees throw up another one.
Good sign for the Yankees, too. Have been struggling the last couple of days swinging the bats, able to add on a few.
Those tackling runs throughout the, you know, late in the game, especially with Mariano in the 9th. It makes it so good for the Yankees because you just.
Well, that sounded tough from up here. And we're a ways away. You could hear it. And Gene Monahan and Joe Girardi quickly out to take a look at Swisher.
He got it on the toe, and I tell you what happens, it just goes numb, and it hurts. Right off the toe.
Only Nick could smile through getting hit on the toe. Brad Thomas, another lefty, and Robbie Weinhardt. And there's a strike to Posada. The 0-1. Strike. Count 0-2. David Robertson. Probably pitched the 8th. So we see, just from the way they're warming up, how the pecking order has changed in the bullpen. Java is pitching the 7th. Java or Kerry Wood. And David Roberts has taken over the important role of the bridge to Mariano.
That's the way you look at that, or because we tacked on another run, they went to Robertson?
No, I think that it's 7th inning Java, 8th inning Robertson.
Of
Well, ever since they made that little move in the bullpen, everything has kind of fallen into place. Job has gotten a little bit better. David Robertson has continued to excel.
Count 0-2 on Posada. Runner on first, nobody out. 1 run in on the home run by Cano. Yankees lead 5-2. Schlereth deeps in the bat. Traveling this season? Take the Yankees with you. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Yankees game live or on demand on your computer. Visit Yankees.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. The 0-2. Strike 3. Every out that Schlereth has recorded has been a strikeout. 2 swinging and 2 looking, and that's the first out of the 7th.
It's a slider again. Looks like it catches Jorge Posada backdoor. Avila setting up inside. It ends up coming around the outside half.
And that's going to do it for Schlereth as Jim Leland will go to the bullpen. So the youngster jogs off. Had a pretty decent inning in the 3rd with 4 strikeouts, but he leaves with the Yankees leading 5-2. Pitcher for the Tigers on in relief of Daniel Schlereth. Tim's 0 for 3, and he swings at the breaking ball and fouls it off. .23 hits and 17 in the 3rd innings, high ERA. Shattered bat popped up. It's going to dunk in. It's going to be base hit.
You wonder if Brandon Inge might have been better off playing this on a hop and going to second base. Nick Swisher kind of had to freeze there. Couldn't get a good read, and it looked like Brandon Inge was going to try to make the play at first base all the way. A broken bat, little pop-up. Brandon Inge was coming in and going barehanded all the way to first base. It looked like he could have played that on a hop and went to second and gotten a force on Nick Swisher.
Now the lefty Granderson coming up. And they're going to go to Brad Thomas. Derek Jeter likes those little cheapies. That means it all evens out. This Friday, August 20th, the Yankees take on the Mariners, and it's Ford Fiesta night. The first 18,000 fans in attendance will receive a limited edition miniature collectible Yankees Ford Fiesta, courtesy of your Tri-State Ford dealers. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com, visit the Yankee Stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops, or you can call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. Brad Thomas, another one of the three lefties in the bullpen, comes in to get Granderson. Those are his numbers. And the first pitch to Granderson is a strike. Granderson homered in the second off Verlander, then grounded to first and then struck out. And the strikeout was against Schlereth. Now that time, looked like he let go of the bat, like he didn't have both hands on it through the swing. And that's something that they've been preaching. Let's see if he did let go.
Well, they work on in batting practice, and Curtis has gotten it down during the game. Hand comes off sometimes. And we seem to pay attention left on left with Curtis Granderson to see the quality of the at-bat. Pretty good swing on a slider there.
The 0-2. Count 1 and 2.
What do you think, Paul? I mean, you watch Robinson Cano hit lefties, and it's almost like when he gets a fastball, he takes it the other way. And when he gets a slider like he did against Schlereth, he pulls it into the seats.
Yeah, and Robbie, it's all about right here, this front shoulder. It's got to stay square against a lefty. Every once in a while, you'll see Granderson kind of flinch open. Robbie is right there on everything. You see that front shoulder, you know, his body's going one way, and his front shoulder's kind of open up a little bit to hit lefties, especially the way Robbie does. That front shoulder's got to go right back at the pitcher, and he's so quick that he's able to hit that ball to left field, the fastball, and you see what it do with a hanging curveball like he did last time in bat.
Yeah, from a catcher standpoint, it's tough to pitch to a guy like that because you can't get in on him because he doesn't try to pull it. He just blocks it off the other way.
Count 3 and 2.
Robinson Cano has 12 home runs against lefties this year. It's an impressive number. So for you, it was more mechanics than it was looking for pitches?
Yeah, I mean, I had trouble picking up the ball from certain lefties, but it was putting yourself in the position, a good hitter's position when the ball got there. I mean, you would pick up the ball late, but obviously if you give with that front shoulder, you know, you're going to the strength of a lefty, which is usually that slider away or fastball away. You've given away that outside corner.
3-2. And Granderson works a walk, so the Yankees have the bases loaded with one out here in the 7th as they look to expand on their 5-2 lead. That's going to bring up a Ramiro Pena, switch hitter bat from the right side against Thomas.
Bench player, you get a start here with Alex Rodriguez having some calf problems. You know you're not going to get too many hits during the year. The ones that you get, you want them to be big ones. This would be a nice situation. Bases loaded, one out.
Now, there was some talk today because A-Rod was receiving treatment that maybe he would be available as a pinch hitter today, but if he was available, he'd be pinch hitting now to try to break open the game. Pena, though, has had success this year with the bases loaded, 3 hits and 5 at bats. .208 hitter overall. High fly ball, right field. Bosch has a good arm. He makes the catch. Swisher tags. Here's the throw. It's up the third baseline. So it's a sac fly for Pena. Moving to third is Timms, and the Yankees now lead 6-2.
You said it, Michael. Bosch has a good arm, but the big thing about an outfielder is to stay behind the ball, and every once in a while you get a little anxious as a fielder to get into the ball and make a good throw. And you'll see he just didn't wait back enough. So he catches that ball back behind his shoulder. His weight wasn't going towards the plate. You completely lose all of your arm, and you know you're off target. You got to stay behind that ball, but you can just see the tools that this kid has. I mean, he's got a quick bat. Got off to a great start offensively. He's going to be a good outfielder. He's got a good arm. Bright future out there in right field.
16th ribby for Pena. And here's Gardner. 2 for 2, a sack bunt and a walk. And the pitch outside, 1-0. Yankees lost last night 3-1. They scored 1 run over the previous 18 innings before putting a 2 spot on the board in the first, and here now 6 through 7. So the slumbering offense has awakened just a bit, and the Yankees would like to stop this 2-game losing streak. Low 1-0. 2-0.
You were talking about Alex getting a little treatment, and nothing better in the manager's eye than to if you can hold him out a day to make sure everything's okay. And all of a sudden, you know, it's 6-2 now. You've got Mariano in the 9th. You got to get just 1 inning to him, and it's an ideal situation to give Alex Rodriguez a night off.
And you keep scoring, you probably don't use Mariano with it not being a safe situation. And maybe if they put another one on the board here, maybe they don't even go to Robertson, but he's still standing in the bullpen, warmed up, ready to roll. There's a strike. Tampa Bay leads Texas 5-0, bottom of the 7th. Boston leads the Angels 6-0. I believe that's the top of the 6th. Yankees and the Rays start the day tied in the American League East, and the Red Sox 5.5 games back. And the Red Sox get back Dustin Pedroia today. Those are the American League East standings, and the Blue Jays still hanging on the fringes, 8 games over 500. That one is looped into left field. Rayburn will put it away, and that will do it. But the Yankees get 2 runs on 2 hits, and 2 men left. We go to the 8th. Robertson's coming in, 6-2 Yankees. Ron Guidry and Rich Gossage are talking pitching. Why they say pitchers today are counting on the wrong thing for a successful career. It's a little advice from 2 Yankee veterans on the Verizon Fios game wrap-up tonight on My 9 News. Gator and goose eggs.
You ever see some of those old-time highlights of guys like, you know, Bob Feller and guys that are supposed to throw real hard, and they don't look like they throw hard, right? And then you watch some footage of Goose. Goose throws hard. It looks like he threw hard, you know. It's just... You ever face him?
No. He pitched late in the game. I never got an at-bat late in the game. Always pinch hit for him.
I faced Goose in San Diego a little bit, and then I got him in Seattle too at the end of his career. But he just, it was work when you walked up there against him.
Let me tell you what's going to happen, Paul O'Neill. Bob Feller is listening in Cleveland. He's going to seek you out.
Why? He's a Hall of Fame pitcher.
Yeah, but don't say he didn't throw hard.
He did. Didn't you see that the old thing where he threw a ball against a motorcycle and it beat it to the thing or something? That's the way he used to time the pitches. But, I mean, he's a Hall of Fame pitcher. He threw very hard. But with the old film and the old whatever, it just didn't look like he threw hard.
That's right, because back then they didn't have My 9 Mo.
Right. That's what it was, exactly. He just answered that question for me.
Santiago fouls away. Hey, with his 7 innings of 2 earned runs tonight, Sabathia has gone 15 straight starts of at least 6 innings and 3 earned runs or fewer. And that's the longest such streak for Yankees since Ron Guidry rattled off 15 straight in 1978. And in 1978, Guidry was 25-3 with an under 2 ERA. You were 2 for 6 against Gossage, O'Neill.
Yeah. A couple of broken bat singles.
Past a diving Pena into left field, a base hit for Santiago. As we move along this inning, we'll take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by your local Lexus dealer. Hey, Buck Showalter's Orioles lost 4-0. Boston over the Angels, that's a final. Tampa Bay 6-0 over Texas, bottom of the 7th. Minnesota leads the White Sox 5-4, beginning of a big series in the Central. Indians and the Royals 1-1, top of the 6th. Here's Johnny Damon. Popped up. And Pena is there. 1 away. And that's going to bring up Miguel Cabrera.
Paul, let's see if Robertson was watching Sabathia all night run that fastball in on the hands. Had some success, 0 for 2 and a walk.
In the dirt. Game 3 of this series tomorrow night. Dustin Mosley against Jeremy Bonderman. Then Thursday afternoon, Phil Hughes and Rick Porcello. (6-2) Yankees lead, top of the 8th. Robertson on a relief of Sabathia. Is that live 92-mile-an-hour fastball?
Isn't it funny, though? You watch Sabathia throw 92, 93, and we say he doesn't have a good fastball tonight. Here comes Robertson at 92, but it jumps on you. I mean, it's got a little bit extra life through the zone. It looks like it plays harder than 92.
High fly ball, right field. Going back on the track is Swisher. That'll make the catch for the second out.
Boy, it's a dangerous hitter. You just, every time you make an out, you know he just missed it. I mean, he missed a ball to center field the time before. He just missed driving this ball out.
Now, let's be realistic here. All right, he has 28 home runs, and he plays in cavernous, half of his games, Comerica Park. Rough estimate, if he played 81 games here at Yankee Stadium, how many home runs would he have?
I mean, he's got the power, obviously, to be up, high 40s, 50 in a year, and it's not going to happen in Detroit. I mean, center field's unreachable, which, he can reach here. Right center, I mean, he had extra 10 home runs right down, from the Sony sign over. So, he's a good, solid hitter. I mean, there's no one way to pitch him, but I know one thing. In Yankee Stadium, as short as right field is, the type of hitter he is, I think you have to bust him in.
Yeah, he'd get mistake home runs here. I mean, he'd probably have 35 at this point, I would think. He's got 28 now. Maybe 6 or 7 extra mistakes that just get out of here.
Like the one yesterday against Java. That doesn't go out in Comerica Park.
It's an out. I think it does wear on you as a player when you're playing in your home ballpark and you know you can't reach center field. You're thinking stay on the ball, go the other way, or I'm going to cheat a little bit, try to pull this ball. Yankee Stadium, it's not a short course to center field, but it can be reached.
Enrique Gonzalez. He'll likely pitch the bottom of the 8th.
Well, Michael, I heard the end of your show today when I was coming in and listening. I mean, the big news today on the hard court, Melo might be the next superstar to move into New York. Huh?
He supposedly wants to. The Knicks would love to have him. There's a fly ball to center field, and that'll do it. Here in the 8th inning. No runs a hit, no errors, and one man left. We're going to the bottom of the 8th inning. 6-2 Yankees. One 6-2, and Enrique Gonzalez, one of the 5 right-handers in the bullpen, will take it over against the Yankees and face 2, 3, and 4 in their order. And those are the numbers on Gonzalez. 4th relief pitcher used by Jim Leyland. Jeter's walked twice. Big RBI single his last time up.
Now you got some big news in your hand right here.
Now, Ryan Rucco, who does our stats here and information gathering, he pays attention to the songs that the guys come up to. And he said that Jeter's changed his song, and his new song tonight is Can't Nobody Hold Me Down by Grandmaster Flash.
Grandmaster Flash.
Can't nobody hold me down.
That's a double negative. That doesn't work, does it?
Is that learned at Fordham and places like that? That's not what you're supposed to say.
Now, what was his previous song? I know you used to always come up to Jay-Z. Can't Nobody Hold Me Down.
Yeah, Flash, when your kids walk in the kitchen, if they ever said, "Can't nobody hold me down," Dad, what do you say to them? Huh?
You just give that look, right? The look.
And Jeter goes down on strikes. So that's going to bring up Mark Teixeira. Tampa Bay has now gone up 10-0 on Texas. Bottom of the 7th inning. And there's a strike to Teixeira. Mark is 0 for 4 tonight with 2 strikeouts.
Kind of slowed down with the bat. He had a little tough series in Kansas City.
That's 2 for his last 18 now. The 1-2. Count 2-2. Just got some information on Alex Rodriguez. He underwent an MRI at New York Presbyterian Hospital, and the MRI revealed a low-grade strain of his left calf as Teixeira swings and misses.
Those MRI machines are busy. Over there, huh? Those are miserable too, Flash. A couple of those.
Oh yeah.
So here's now Cano against Gonzalez.
Michael, you had a new Angus wrap?
I have not had an I've never had a wrap in my life.
Really?
A lot of people have met me who said that.
You never had a burrito?
Nope.
Come on.
No.
What's wrong with you?
I've never had it. I've never had a banana, Paul. Why is this a shock to you? The 2-0. Grounded to Cabrera. He's going to flip to Gonzalez, who has a nice clean 1-2-3 inning here in the 8th. Well, the Yankees go down in order. Can the Tigers rally in the 9th? We'll see. Yankees lead by 4. My 9 is brought to you in part by Acura. Acura Advance. Toshiba, laptop innovations with you in mind. Toshiba, the laptop expert. And by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Visit CadillacTristate.com to find a dealer near you. Well, we go to the ninth inning, and although it's not a save situation, the Yankees bring in Mariano Rivera. Didn't pitch on Sunday, didn't pitch yesterday. Games the Yankees were losing, and his numbers are exemplary as always. 30 base runners and 42 in a third innings. And the last time he pitched was August 11th against the Texas Rangers. And here's Ryan Rayburn against Rivera. And there's a strike. Fouled away.
Using that two-seamer a lot more this year, kind of running it in on the hands of the righties. Some of the opportunity to run a cutter back at their hip. Mariano hasn't pitched for a while, but he looks pretty sharp first two pitches here.
The Yankees trying to nail this down. If they do, that means Sabathia still has not lost a home game since July 2nd. Now, he wouldn't lose this if the Yankees lose, but he's looking to pick up his 16th win. This would be the earliest in his career he's ever gone to 16 wins. Last year he did it on September 2nd, and that was the previous earliest. Fouled away. And as a Yankee, if the Yankees hold on, CC Sabathia would go to 8-1 in the month of August. 5-0 last year, and he's currently 2-1, so he's trying to go 3-1, 8-1 overall. Popped up. Teixeira on the run. Can't hold on. Valiant try by Teixeira to try to haul that in. Now gathering himself, but he gets up. You can see he scraped his arm and trying to make that play.
He does the right thing here, sliding, trying right at the end of his glove, and he hits off that netting. You worry about that pole, although it does have a little padding there.
And if anything, that left leg hit the pole.
I'm looking at some of the reactions of the fans, and it's exciting to see that they're still. Look at the reaction of the police officer here.
What a try by Teixeira. And the 1-2 upstairs.
Pretty good station to be a police officer, right? Right down by the dugout. Good seats in the game. Saw a close play right there, especially if you're a baseball fan.
There's a ground ball up the middle. Cheater's there. That's a very cerebral police officer, by the way. He went to the Bronx High School of Science, that young man.
You know that?
Oh, yeah.
How do you know these things? Where did they come from?
Because he walked up to me, and I went there. He said, we're classmates. I think he's a lot younger than me, though.
So you burned the path for him.
Absolutely. Here's Brandon Inge. Pitch outside. Inge had a home run against Sabathia with one out in the 7th inning. 1 for 3 against CC. Now 1-1.
And you can just tell, Flash, that hitters to go up there. I mean, you just look discouraged when you're hitting off Mariano. Chances are he's going to get you. It's just you get nothing to hit, nothing you can handle, nothing you can put on the barrel of the bat. Ouch.
And Jeter back, and he can't make the play. One off his glove. So Inge reaches on a single.
You wonder if that ball maybe knuckled a little bit. I mean, Inge gets jammed so much. It's like a little look of frustration on Derek Jeter's face, and usually a play that he would make. It's out of his reach.
Mo will probably ask him about his vertical tonight before the night's over.
Grounded right back to Rivera. He's going to take the out at first, and the Yankees are out away from a victory as Inge moves to second. Hey, you know them as Gator and Goose tonight after the game. Ron Guidry and Rich Gossage are talking pitching. Why they say pitchers today are counting on the wrong thing for a successful career. It's a little advice from two Yankee veterans on the Verizon Fios game wrap-up tonight on My 9 News.
Well, Mo gets last out here. This would be a nice win. CC Sabathia picking up a win. With some work for him there at the beginning. Curtis Granderson hits a home run. Robinson Cano. Nick Swisher, you're questionable about his elbow. He gets a big hit, couple RBIs. Settle the stadium down a little bit, Paul. Pick up a win.
Absolutely. CC Sabathia will get his 16th win. I mean, it's at least be tied for the league lead. I mean, he has just walked into this ace role the last couple of years and just put it on his shoulder and very comfortable with it. A lot of people aren't comfortable with that when they come into a city and they're supposed to be the ace. It absolutely fits him to a T. We've seen 2 broken bats so far this inning. We'll see if Mariano can get another one.
And the 1-1. Foul back, 1-2. So the Tigers are down to their final strike. (6-2) Yankees looking to snap a 2-game losing streak here at the stadium. And the 1-2. Right in on the hands and fouled away. Rivera with a 1.05 ERA. 40 years old. Overpowering batters and defying Mother Nature and Father Time. A 1-2 inside.
And Flash, I mean, you faced him, what, 5-6 years ago? How long has it been since you faced him in with the Rays?
That'd be 2002.
7, 8 years ago, and really nothing has changed.
No, it's the same.
Velocity is the same. The location, the movement.
This should do it. Jeter Field sets, fires, and the Yankees win 6-2. And CC picks up his 16th victory, sole possession of the American League lead with 16 wins. And as part of Hope Week, the Yankees will have their guest Jane Lang out on the field, and she's going to be high-fiving the team as they come off the field. So a big thrill for her. Mariano nails this one down, a home run for Granderson, and there's Jane, and she is with her guide dog Clipper, and a nice moment as the Yankees in their second day of Hope Week for the second year, and this is going to be a big thrill for Jane as she high-fives Curtis Granderson. We got a lot of awards to give out, so stay right where you are. Yankees snapped their 2-game losing streak. They beat the Tigers 6-2.